What's going on, Lions fans? Welcome to the Pride of Detroit PODcast, your home for all of your favorite Detroit Lions news, updates, analysis, and so much more. I'm your host, Meko, and in today's episode, we are going to be recapping the Lions' most recent loss to the Minnesota Vikings that occurred yesterday, dropping the Lions to 5-3 on the season. I don't know about you guys. I'm not feeling the absolute best on today for a number of reasons. First of all, it's a Monday, and Mondays are never all that great. But with that said, I will introduce my amazing co-host. First and foremost, we have your senior editor over at prideofdetroit.com, Ryan Matthews at Ryan_POD. Ryan, how we feeling?
I'm here, Miko. We're here together, and we're all going to get over this.
I will say, of the three of us, now I clearly have the better beard, but between you and Jeremy, we may have to run a poll at some point in time of who's got the better mustache as of like day one of the Movember charity drive, which is a perfect time for you guys to actually be checking us out over on twitch.tv slash Pride Detroit or over at youtube.com slash Pride Detroit as well. This is a great time to actually be tuned into the live streams if you've never normally tuned in. But you know what? I'll let our, man in charge kind of talk about that a little bit more. That's Jeremy Reisman at Detroit Online. Jeremy, how we feeling?
24-hour rule, Mika. It's been flushed. Ready to move on. Ready to talk about Washington this entire episode, right?
I got a couple floaties still left.
Oh God.
That game is not. I know we did like our superlatives in the last podcast. We were like, hey, what's the one loss that kind of just is like lingering or like that kind of sticking with you? I want to change my answer, Ryan. It's going to be this one.
Yeah. Why is that, Miko?
Um, this was bad from like jump, and it was bad in a way that like I just wasn't expecting overall, just in terms of the offense being so disjointed. And it was one of the things that we talked about quite a bit on the last podcast about like the offense needing to kind of get things going. But Jeremy, I feel like they found a way to kind of hit some new lows when it came down to this game against the Vikings.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been kind of lamenting the run game not being as good as it has been for several weeks now, and I even brought it up to John Morton in the lead up to this game, and his response to like, "Hey, the efficiency of the run game hasn't been where it's been was, it's fine, it's good. They fill the boxes against us, and we're not afraid of that." Maybe that should have been a warning sign for me because they went ahead and had the worst rushing performance of the year, one of the worst rushing performances of the Dan Campbell era in terms of success rate, which was 25%, which is quite awful. It was Jahmyr Gibbs' third fewest rushing yards in a game in his career. And I kind of think a lot of the offensive struggles from there was kind of a domino effect of that. Not being able to get the run going meant more third and longs. More third and longs meant more Vikings shenanigans in terms of their pressure looks, which the Lions obviously didn't have an answer for all day. And, it led to criticism for pretty much everyone on offense, from the receivers dropping a few critical passes to the offensive line to the running backs who were kind of left out to dry in terms of pass protection, to Jared Goff for not getting into the right looks or the protections all the time, to, of course, the offensive coordinator, John Morton, who seems to be the most hated man in Detroit this Monday. And I think the answer to who's to blame is all of the above, because that was just not a great effort from anybody. You're muted.
I will say, Ryan, I think that's like the typical thing that happens after any loss is that the minute that happens, there's immediately like pointing amongst the fans. And to Jeremy's point, I do think like this is something that the entire offense shares. Do you, in your opinion, believe that like it should slant in one direction maybe more than any other?
Which direction is that? I guess is the
I have
question.
Yeah, personally, right, if we had to split the pie in just to two halves, right, where you have coaching and then you have execution, I am giving more of that slice to execution more than I will to coaching. But if we decided to like dissect that slice even further into like individuals or position groups or things of that nature, Jeremy, to your point about the run game really struggling, I still feel like that was a byproduct of the offensive line just not playing well in almost any capacity yesterday, whether it was pass defense or pass blocking or run blocking.
Yeah. Um, I think that we may have underestimated how much this team was going to miss Frank Ragnow. I think we underestimated just how big of a blow that was going to be. And like thinking back on it after the game, like just kind of like reworking myself through the offseason that was for the Detroit Lions. Like losing Frank Ragnow, like just set off ripples that I think we're seeing come to fruition today. Like Tate Ratledge was plan A at center. Quickly, like, was not plan A. Like first week of training camp, then it's Graham Glasgow's job. Graham is a guy who re-signed in Detroit to play right guard. Like he wanted to play right guard specifically. And they lose Zeitler, they lose Ragnow. There's this shuffling along the interior of the offensive line. After the game yesterday, like the two starting guards for the Detroit Lions had 18 games of NFL experience. You know, and that was the thing we kind of sold ourselves early on in the season was that this was going to be a work in progress and like they were going to get better as the weeks rolled along. And there was some truth to that, right? Granted, week one couldn't have went any worse, right? It was almost like the bar got set so low with that performance that they were going to clear expectations at any point. And they have, and they have played better. I think what makes this loss worse is that you have Christian Mahogany, who's going to have a long term injury. So now you need to plug a hole along the interior for, let's just call it like the rest of the regular season, basically. I mean, the guy broke a bone. Um,
Hmm.
so that's one thing that in the immediate you have to fix with a group that already, you know, the thing that made it sting more was that it was out of the bye week. Like you had 2 weeks to prepare for Brian Flores and what he was going to bring. I don't think it's just the offensive line that should wear a lot of the blame yesterday for the pressure that Jared Goff faced. I think that Jared Goff deserves his share of blame for not recognizing and IDing blitzers along with Graham Glasgow, right? That was something that we championed about Frank for so many years was that guy is such a heady player. I'm not saying that Graham isn't, but I'm just saying that Graham isn't the same caliber of physical talent that Frank was. That's no slight, but it was more than just like the play calling. It was the execution to your point, Meko. And it was just a no good, terrible, bad day for almost everybody on offense, right? And there were plays that you could point to on defense where it was like, that's just uncharacteristic. And I know that like that was kind of the takeaway from the Chiefs game as well, where it was like uncharacteristic for Amon-Ra St. Brown to drop a pass, uncharacteristic for Jared Goff to work himself into some spots, uncharacteristic for the offense to not be able to establish a running game. I think at the end of yesterday's game, it was like maybe it's not so uncharacteristic of like who this group is right now. And I think that the offensive line has been the most important piece to this entire team on offense for years now. And I'm fading into the abyss. It I think it's just so important to understand how critical that offensive line is to just everything working for the Detroit Lions on offense. And it isn't working right now. And I'm wondering how it's going to work moving forward. That's my spooky, scary ghost story.
I was gonna say if Halloween hadn't already passed, I would probably be asking you to probably head for an exit like immediately, the way you kind of faded into darkness there. Um, but Jeremy, I think what Ryan says is very true in regards to I do think we kind of underestimated the impact that, losing Frank was going to have on this offensive line. Not that we didn't know that it was going to happen, but like I think we saw it in week one, and I would almost assume that for a lot of the fan base, like we all chalked it up to like, okay, like that's first game jitters. This group hasn't played together. In the next few weeks, we saw them kind of get it together. And then Brian Flores kind of threw a different challenge at this group that I don't know that they've really had to deal with as frequently as they had to, yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I've said for years now that I think Frank was often the most important person during Vikings week when Brian Flores has been there, just because of the extensive amount of research that he does before the game, just his extensive knowledge of the game, ability to pick out blitzing and pressure packages and things like that. And so it was a big question this week whether Goff would carry some of that load, Graham would carry some of that load, anyone else on the offensive line would carry that load, and I think we got our answer. But I think that extends to coaching too. I thought Dan Campbell had a really interesting answer today on Monday when asked, like, hey, you hung Jahmyr Gibbs out to dry in this game. He pass protected on 15 of his 40-some, I think it was 15 of 42 offensive snaps. Jahmyr Gibbs, like what was that, like 30? I think it was 37% of the offensive snaps that he's out there, he is pass protecting. That is not using one of your best players doing what they do best. And Campbell's like, yeah, I can't say I disagree. Like, some of the stuff that the Vikings were doing was dictating that. When you're double blitzing the A gap, probably helps to have a back there to help out your quarterback in the immediacy, because you don't want it's okay if you allow pressure, but quick pressure is really hard to deal with. But there are other things the Lions could have done. They could have gone 6-man fronts. They could have, brought in a tight end. They could have gone I formation. They could have done a ton of things to help them out, and they didn't. They could have, free released Jahmyr a little bit. Now that might put pressure on someone else, but at least it gives Goff an outlet. It at least gives Gibbs an opportunity to get the ball in space in a way that isn't just a design screenplay or whatever that they want to dial up. And so I think that speaks to one of many ways that I don't think coaching helped out this unit when they should have known this was going to be a pretty tough challenge for that interior offensive line. And credit to the Vikings for knowing that, seeing that the interior offensive line was new and still working things out, still working out some chemistry issues, even if, the sack numbers were down. But the Lions, they need to have the counterpunch. They need to have the counter answer ready quicker, and they just didn't on Sunday.
I think, Ryan, that is though where, like, Jeremy, to your point, like, I do think coaching could have helped there, but this is where I think even in certain coaching decisions, Jared Goff didn't help the offense as a whole by either recognizing things or just choosing to opt into checking into certain things. Because I do, like, obviously we will never know what the exact play calls were for a number of those, like, plays that they ran yesterday, but it just did feel like there were a number of checks to where whenever they showed, pressure, as if they were going to double blitz the A gap, like, those are the plays where you were like, yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs isn't going out for a route at all. Like, I don't know if that was the design initially, but it's like he definitely isn't now. And I don't know how much of that where, like, I really did question a number of times yesterday whether or not Jared Goff was seeing things or if he was just automatically just panicking and then just opting for, like, hey, I'm just going to keep you back here instead of maybe making that the hot route or doing something else instead to give that offense just an opportunity to find some type of success instead of just constantly trying to find plays downfield.
Well, I think too, towards the end of the game, there was a lot of David Montgomery in at the end of the game. It was because Jahmyr Gibbs allowed 7 pressures on his pass blocking snaps. And that was the most pressures, according to NFL Pro, the most pressures allowed by a running back in a game since at least 2018. No other running back this season had allowed more than 3 pressures in a game going into week 9.
You never like those stats that say at least 2018 because they're since we started being able to collect data on this sort of stuff.
It's the ultimate, like, well, we didn't track block shots when Wilt Chamberlain played,
right.
Yeah, but Meko, to your point, like, another stat that I thought was just eye-opening. Like, it was just so eye-opening was from NFL Pro as well, where it said, despite averaging his quickest time to throw in a game since his rookie year, Jared Goff was still pressured on 47.6% of his dropbacks, the third highest pressure rate he faced as a Detroit Lion. The thing is that the Vikings actually blitzed a little bit less than they did or than they do on average coming into this game. So, like, pressured on 20 of his 42 dropbacks. And the kicker is, of the 20 pressures he faced, 15 of them came in under 2.5 seconds. Like, that's that kind of quick pressure that became so frustrating to watch bear out because, and again, this is who Jared Goff is. There's no maneuverability. There's no ability to escape pressure. It's watching him just turn his back and his shoulders and accept the sack almost from when the ball is snapped, right? And it's like, to your point, like, are we checking into something where we do have a quick read? When we get to the line of scrimmage, we're having trouble IDing where the pressure is coming from. And beyond that, Jared Goff is having trouble identifying where he needs to get the ball out to, if he needs to get it out in a hurry. That was the most frustrating thing to watch on Sunday. But the biggest problem comes back to the run game, that Jeremy highlighted, because that has been Detroit's bread and butter for 2 seasons. Their ability to run the football. Something else that stood out to me was it seemed like the Vikings were willing to be much more physical than the Detroit Lions. And I found that to be a little bit surprising. Coming into Ford Field, there wasn't too much of Lee McNeil that popped off the screen to me in the way that it did versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I know we'll get to the defense and everything, but it just seemed like the Lions weren't as physical up front versus the Vikings front on both sides of the football. And that really determined the football game, I think.
I will say that, and in a very, I wouldn't even say shocking way, because we've seen this happen this season as well. But special teams impacted this game in a way that like you just kind of couldn't afford it to, with the way that the offense was kind of struggling, Jeremy. You give up two big returns, one that gets called back due to a holding, but like it just didn't feel like, again, in all three phases, that this Lions team was really all locked in coming out of the bye week, which is, like, to Ryan's point, is very surprising for this team.
A field goal block too.
Right.
Field goal block,
changed the
game.
Returns. I mean, the Lions they were going to make it a one-score game from a one-score game with the field goal, but you return it to, field goal position for the Vikings. It's essentially a 6-point swing, and the game is not quite over after that, but kind of over. I wrote about this in Pride of Detroit Direct, but it just, the frustrating part for me was that the Lions had identified a lot of their problems at the bye week, and it seemed like they solved none of them. Their third down problems were still third down problems, and I actually disagree with what the Lions said after the game, because they were like, you know what, we just got into third and longs too often. We got to too many third and 10s, third and 19s, third and 14s, whatever. It's kind of true, but also I tracked. The one thing that Dan Campbell said at the bye week is we need to be better at 3rd and 4 through 6. These third mediums. They had 5 3rd and 4 and 6s in this game. Do you want to know how many they converted?
Not many.
It was 0. It was 0. Okay. They converted 0. Okay. They were sacked twice. They threw 2 incomplete passes, and they ran it for 2 yards on another one. 0 for 5. So that remains a huge problem. And yes, a couple of those were saved by 4th down conversions. Great. But
yeah, I mean, one of them was the touchdown to Sam Laporta, and the other one was the encroachment penalty.
But no, and we don't even count that one because it's not a play.
Okay.
But yeah, the other was I think a Brock Wright 11-yard pass. But that, I mean, then the other part of it is the one part that I do agree, which is they just got into too many third downs. I think they were 5 of 17 or something. So 17 is way too many third downs in a game, which is what Dan Campbell said, which brings to another strategic point that I think the Lions haven't caught up to where they're at yet. The Lions have always been this team that runs a lot on 2nd and long. Analytic people hate it, but the Lions are able to do it because they're a good running team. They're not a good running team right now. And so 2nd and long runs they're killing drives. The Lions, there was that 7 series
after the opening drive touchdown.
After the opening drive, 7 drives where it was like 3 and out, touchdown, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Like it was
fumble.
Fumble. There's a 6-play drive in there that went like 15 yards. They averaged a little bit over 2 yards a carry, or 2 yards per play during 7 straight drives. And I think a lot of it is because of your second down choice. And I thought our good buddy Al Carson laid it out perfectly. On 2nd and 7 or more this year, the Lions have the highest run rate in the NFL at 44.7%. They have a success rate on those runs of 28.6%, which is 30th. They're the 3rd worst team to be running it on 2nd and long, and they're doing it more than any other team. Throwing in those situations, of course, if you have the highest run rate, you have the least highest pass rate. And they have the 9th best success rate on 2nd and longs. And so I'm not going to sit here and tell you they have to throw it on every single 2nd and long, but you got to do it more. You actually have to lean in to what you do well, not just what you think you do well or what you think the identity of this team is. Because quite frankly, Detroit Lions, you're not the running team you think you are right now. And that's why I go back to that press conference against with John Morton when I tell him, hey, your offensive rushing success rate is down. And he's like, I don't care. We're a running team. Fill the box. We're going to run the ball. That's not who you are right now. You need to lean into what you're good at, and you're better at throwing the ball.
Well, and I think that's also, again, maybe an identity crisis that the Lions are going through right now, where this idea that like, oh no, we're only like we're good at running the football, like, but you're also good at throwing the ball. You have some of the better skill positions when it comes down to pass catchers. When you talk about an Amon-Ra St. Brown, when you talk about a Sam Laporta and a Jamison Williams, like two guys who had really good games, but once again seems to be wasted in a loss. Like I kind of do agree with you, Jeremy, that it is probably something that they need to mix in a little bit more. And I think that's where, if people are upset with John Morton, maybe it is the lack of creativity and the amount of predictability, Ryan, that we're seeing with this offense at this point in the season.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Like they're a football team who thinks they are one thing, but they're really not there. And I'm not saying they can't get there, but they're clearly not there yet. Like there was enough out of that game for me to say, I have so much less faith. Like I have so much less faith in the Lions offense than I do their defense. I have so much more faith in the Lions defense at this point. And even they had a bad game. Like I did not think it was like, it wasn't the offense kind of bad. It wasn't like the special teams kind of bad, but like they were the prettiest pig there. 100%. Like we can get to the defense, but like
I think I would push back a little bit on that. I think I'd push back a little bit because I thought the defense played pretty well. Like
there were a lot of spots that they played bad.
Yes, I think there were moments that they did play bad, but in terms of like what I expected this defense to do more often than not, I think they did in terms of creating pressure, in terms of making things difficult for JJ McCarthy and making him have to rush things. What they failed to do, which is synonymous with the offense as well, is execute. There were a number of times where they were getting to him and not getting him down. Like their sack number should have been so much higher, whether it was Aiden Hutchinson getting there, whether it was Jack Campbell getting there. They had more opportunities to probably get more negative plays and left some on the field for sure. But I think there were also a number of times where JJ just, again, made a great throw here, made a great throw there. And there were moments where I'm just like, well, that's what happens when you have, a third string, nickel out there and you're not able to have a DJ Reed and an Amik Robertson be able to play in the slot, or you're not able to have a Kirby Joseph. Some of these things are just going to happen. But it wasn't like a situation where I was just like, they're not doing anything right, which is exactly how I felt whenever I saw the offense on the field, where it's just like, you're just not doing enough things right.
Yeah, I mean, the other side of that, though, is the run defense, right? The run defense was not good in this game. Aaron Jones was running all over them until he got injured, and that was shocking. I mean, my prediction on First Bite was that the Lions would run for, 80 more yards than the Vikings did on this game, and it was pretty much, they Uno reversed me completely. 142 rushing yards for the Vikings, 65 for the Lions. Shocking. I mean, I also wrote in Pride of Detroit Direct that, I wouldn't overlook the Vikings. They're getting healthy. We don't know what they look like with both their offensive tackles and getting some key defensive pieces back. But I did not expect that. I did not expect the Lions to get run over on offense, on defense, and stuffed on offense. And that's concerning. That is odd. And I haven't quite looked into, most of my focus after the game has been on the offense and what's going wrong there, because I think, like we all agree, that there's more concern on that side of the ball right now. But defensively, they can't allow a team to run a game like that, because against a better quarterback, and no disrespect to JJ McCarthy, actually a little disrespect to JJ McCarthy. I don't think he was that good in this game. This could have been a blowout. This could have and probably should have been into a blowout because the Vikings were getting into a lot of third and manageables. They were getting into a lot of good, favorable down and distances. They were staying ahead of the sticks because of that run game. They were doing essentially what the Lions wanted to do. And then, because I think the Lions' defensive front did do a good job pressuring the quarterback, like you said, Meko, they were able to get off the field more often than not. I thought third down defense was generally pretty good, except, of course, third and long. The one thing that Kelvin Shepard said they needed to fix at the trade deadline or at the bye week, and they didn't. There were I think 3 or 4 conversions of 3rd and 8 or longer in this game, which was frustrating as hell.
Yeah, the first drive, there was the 3rd and 9. That was a 14-yard pass to Aaron Jones, and then the next play is a touchdown.
Yep.
The very next drive, guess what? 3rd and 9, 31-yard pass to Jordan Addison. They finally got to McCarthy on a 3rd and long. I think it was like a 3rd and 9, and that was when Jack Campbell sacked him.
Yep.
But
J.J. McCarthy's touchdown run was a 3rd and 8.
Was a 3rd and 8 on the worst angle I've ever seen Alex Anzalone ever take in his life. I think he'll again an uncharacteristic play from a veteran who, you're at that spot in the field. That JJ McCarthy has to get that many yards. That you just have to force him to the middle. There were moments where Aiden Hutchinson was losing contain on run plays and totally crashing down the line, and there was just space for days. There was the other the field goal drive where there was the penalty that there was a holding penalty that moved him back to 2nd and 15. What happened on 2nd and 15? A 16-yard run by Jordan Addison. That was like a screenplay that counted as a run, but converting a 2nd and 15, converting a bunch of 3rd and longs that led directly to or was a scoring play.
Right.
Those are the plays where you absolutely have to get off the field. You absolutely have to hold a team to a quarterback who's on his 3rd NFL start. You have to limit those plays. Those plays can't happen. And that's the part of the defense where, to your point, Jeremy, you hear Kelvin Shepard say that that's one area of the game they have to clean up, 2 weeks to clean it up, and then it's still pretty bad.
Right. And I don't know, I look at this Minnesota performance. J.J. McCarthy, 5.7 yards per attempt, 143 total yards in this game, did not hurt them through the air as much as he probably could have, because there were also 3 plays in which he and the back weren't on the same page, and he just had to run and do whatever he can to salvage the play.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He got yards out of it.
Right, but he did. But that's what I'm there was so much sloppiness on Minnesota's side of the ball on offense that the fact that the Lions couldn't take advantage of that is an indictment on the entire team, because it didn't feel like Minnesota won that game as much as the Lions lost it. And I know I'm saying that from a Lions point of view, because to be fair, Minnesota did everything they needed to on defense. But offensively, I don't think they did enough on offense to burn the Lions, but special teams put the defense in a bad spot. Offense put the defense in a bad spot. And so they just needed to make a handful of plays. Minnesota did, and they did in those critical moments. McCarthy makes the big pass to end the game. He throws, they go 3 for 5 in the red zone because of a couple big plays on big downs. They convert all those 3rd downs. Meanwhile, the Lions in all those critical moments, what did they do? What is something that the Lions did when they absolutely needed to? I guess they were 3 for 3 on 4th down. I guess the JMO touchdown gave them a shot at the end, but you needed one defensive stop, and you didn't get it at the end. You needed to just kick a field goal and make it. You didn't. That's your ball game.
Yeah, the one other thing, the sequence that sticks out to me as far as poor coaching goes and play calling is that 2-minute drive at the end of the game. The lack of urgency to get another play in before the 2-minute warning, or to be aggressive before the 2-minute warning. I'm not going to beat him up about it because the game is the game at that point, but the inside run to take you to the 2-minute warning when time was a factor. Time mattered.
I was told by Rich Silva of the Detroit News, and I haven't gone back and watched it myself. I was told there was a miscommunication about I guess Amon-Ra came off right before that play, and Taslaw went in there and didn't know what his assignment was, and people were sending him back and forth on the line, and so I think the Lions were just F it, let's settle in for the 2-minute warning here, but either way,
But
I mean,
but I mean,
that's
like,
not acceptable. Like, I'm not.
no, yeah, and that may be an explanation, but like they run that ball up the middle with 2:22 on the clock
Right.
on 2nd and 2.
Right. I
Like,
really thought they should have been hustling to score before the 2-minute warning to give themselves an extra stoppage of clock on the other end.
yeah, and they were, to their credit, but it's just like the little things
Yeah.
that I think are adding up.
Well,
You're adding up to a big picture, right?
And if there's ever like a picture of like this offense not being where they need to be, to me it was the 2 men in motion play where there's
gosh.
two guys
Yeah.
still in motion when the ball is being snapped. That is something just completely unacceptable in the year 5 or whatever we're calling of this offense. Like, they haven't changed the offense enough for players to be key players. You know, I believe it was Laporta and
St. Brown.
and St.
St.
Brown.
Brown. Yeah.
Like, that is, what are we doing here? That is where I'm just like, okay, maybe there is like a serious coaching issue happening right now, because those players are too good to be making those mistakes, and they've played enough good ball for me to not think that they just lost their mind in a particular moment.
You need a passport to make that play, Meko. You need a passport.
I mean,
to make
I
that
guess,
play.
but I mean, like in a situation like what's the coaching error? That, like, what's the coaching mistake that has two players not knowing the play? Because like that's a player issue in my mind. Like, how do neither of you know?
Well, I mean, it starts from the call, right? And it starts from not knowing, like, is it my turn to motion? Is it his turn to motion? Right? Like,
Right. And that's why I say, like, I think there are things throughout this game where there's things that you have to file away as like, okay, that's just uncharacteristic of the team or the players. That's a play that I would file in that bucket. I think there's a lot of things that happen on defense that I would also file in that bucket of like, these are uncharacteristic things. The things that we talked about at the start of the show, though, like the issues with the offensive line, those are like actual issues
systemic problems. Yeah.
yeah, because like, what is to stop any other team outside of maybe personnel, but like, what is to stop any other team from implementing a similar game plan against the Detroit Lions? Like, you got Philly in a couple weeks. You don't think that they don't have the players that could, put that type of pressure on your interior offensive line and make life difficult for Jared Goff? You have the Rams later, another team that can generate pressure from all different aspects of their defensive line and make life miserable. Those are systemic issues. I do think even with some of like the third and long defense, I do think having Kirby healthy and DJ Reed back there will make things better, because we haven't seen the like healthy secondary with the healthy defensive line yet. Like, we have yet to see that. And maybe that does get fixed when you have that combination. But this interior offensive line is not all of a sudden going to get a huge bump in experience points in the next couple weeks. That's all of a sudden going to make all of those issues disappear.
Are you sure? Are you sure? There's trade deadline. There's trade deadline, Meko.
Listen here, the day Brad Holmes makes a splash trade for an interior offensive lineman will be the first time.
We should talk a little bit more about the trade deadline in the second segment here, but I'm not counting it out completely. I'd be a little bit surprised, because I think they do have faith in their depth, and I don't think the Lions went into this season thinking like, well, we're screwed if one guard goes down. But at the same time, there are some interesting names out there that I think we should discuss when we get to it.
Any national NFL writer is telling on themselves if between now and tomorrow I read anything about the Lions needing defensive line help.
Well, maybe they don't need a pass rusher. Maybe they need a run defender.
Like, what are we doing here? Oh my gosh. Is there something? Oh, I was gonna set you up. I'm so sorry. Look at us.
Now look at us. Now look at us. Two players in motion.
Both in motion.
Either way, this would be a perfect time to take a Righteous Felon craft jerky break, because this is exactly what we probably need to get back on the same page. Maybe it's what the Lions need. Maybe they just need to pass around some jerky. Everyone sing Kumbaya, and everyone just kind of realign themselves. The Pride of Detroit PODcast is brought to you by Righteous Felon Craft Jerky. It's the jerky that fuels the Pride of Detroit PODcast. Each 2-ounce bag of jerky has 16 to 20 grams of protein, and each stick has 8 grams. Trust me, if it's good enough for the Lions, it's going to be good enough for you too. Righteous Felon is based in Westchester, Pennsylvania. They use locally sourced, all natural black Angus beef and prides itself on superior quality, revolutionary branding, and unique flavors that go beyond the stereotypical jerky offering. I've been saying this for the last couple weeks, and I'm going to get to it at some point. I'm going to order more jerky because I am out. I went to go grab some this morning, and I have like put it all in a Ziploc bag. I touched the bottom of the bag, guys. There was no more. There was no more jerky. There were no more meat sticks. I'm in desperate need. So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing is going over to righteousfelon.com using the promo code POD15 at checkout to get 15% off my order. Again, you can use the promo code POD15 at righteousfelon.com to get 15% off your order. When we come back, like Jeremy said, we are going to talk about the trade deadline and some possible moves that the Lions may consider making to help get them back on track, or maybe even, debunk a couple of rumors that may be out there. So we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more right after this.
All right, we're on break, and luckily they can't see that. You guys can, but they can't. All right, we got a lot to talk about here. We'll answer some questions. Bayad also has a listcast request. I'm not sure if you're around. I didn't see what the actual listcast request was. But let's start with a bunch of alerts, including some donations that I want to get to as well, because if you don't know or if you forgot, we are raising money for the Rogel Cancer Center. I'm wearing their shirt right now, University of Michigan Rogel Cancer Center. We're trying to hit, it says 75,000 up there, but I just like to outdo last year, which was about 51,000. We had a really nice first day during the Madden Sim, just under 2,000. Since then, we have crossed over 2,000, which yes means we're also going to spin a Wheel of Pain at some point during this show. We're also almost halfway to our first milestone, which is the Lions Cause Us Pain milestone. Where's everyone at so far? Have you been keeping track of your numbers here?
That J-Mo touchdown hurt Meko. It also hurt me. I'm up to 20 nuggets.
You're up to 20
I was going to
nuggets.
say, I still think I'd rather have my pain than yours, because
you're going to be eating like 120 nuggets.
Now with the way the offense looked on Sunday, I won't be.
I mean, you're 100.
But he still threw two touchdowns.
They're on pace for 100. 5 games, two touchdowns a game.
Yeah, we'll see if the Lions score any points against the Packers on Thanksgiving.
Okay. I'm at 2 because of 2 pinned punts inside the 20.
A lot of opportunities yesterday.
Yeah. Luckily they were punting deep from their own zone.
Yeah.
Luckily.
Yeah, and Jack was still booming punts.
he was. Well, there was a couple that weren't that good. A couple short of 50.
Okay.
That's not good.
Jeremy hates special teams. It's crazy.
He's gonna have to do like 180 burpees.
No, here's the thing. Like, this was another thing where it was just like, it was so weird that the Lions coaches were talking about all about these things during the self scout. The one thing that Dave Phipp talked about was, we're doing an awesome job, maybe the best job ever, punting from midfield and pinning them deep. This has maybe been the best year that we've been doing that, because I think they're still at 0 touchbacks, if I'm not mistaken. But where we need to improve is when we're punting from our own zone. I think Jack can do that better. And he had 3 punts from, I think, inside their own 30. And 2 of them went for less than 50 yards. The third one was good. It was like 50-something yards, and you pin them at their 25. But
wait, are you saying from like deep in the Lions' own territory?
Correct.
Like,
yep.
Well, there's one that stands out to me where he I think it was like 55 yards.
Yes, there was one good one, and then 2 not good ones.
2 not good ones. I'm gonna look for the not good ones.
The best Jack Fox games when Jack Fox doesn't have to punt.
Yeah, I agree. When he's the full-time holder. I think we can all agree those are Jack Fox's best games. All right, let me get to some of these donations, and then we'll get to the alert. Why? There we go. Let me get all of them in between our last stream and this stream, because second, we had a little bit of a train from our fans donating 24 or donating however many points the Lions scored in this game. Some people 2x'd it, so we have a $48 donation from Vil Lyons, says as promised. A $48 donation from Dan Pask, says thanks for everything you do, Pride of Detroit, go Lions. Thank you, Dan. A $24 donation from Joe, says match. Tara DC with a $24 donation. Austin Mammoth with a $24 donation, said let's make ourselves feel better by punishing Vikings fan Jeremy as much as possible tonight for his transgressions. I don't know what I did.
How do we do that?
I do know that Austin thinks it's my fault because in Pride of Detroit Direct I said, are the Lions catching the Vikings at the wrong time? But
I mean, you do have to spin a wheel of pain, so I mean,
that's true.
Jeremy's going to get his punishment one way or another.
That's true. And if we raise another $858, I'll do 2 spins. I donated $24 because I said I was going to be a part of that. Soulful Break, $50 donation, says, I know he lost, but people don't deserve to suffer just because Morton doesn't know how to handle this much Detroit muscle. Terrion did his part in all this, so double money. You guys are awesome. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Soulful Break. Appreciate that. Madi Too Hottie with a $27 donation, says win or lose. And Kula coming in with a $24 donation as well. I haven't seen if there was a message that came in with that one yet. Nope. But thank you, Kula. Thank you for the $24 donation. Pushing our total up to, thing on the screen doesn't update as quickly as I want them to, $2,190. So now we're 810 away from another spin on the Wheel of Pain. Exclamation point donate if you guys want to donate. All right, now let me get to the Twitch and YouTube alerts. Michael M, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. J Pook, 35 months, says everything is fine in all caps, which yeah, that gives me confidence.
Yeah, there you
go. Le Mans Builder, 30 months, says no time to panic. Right? I feel like you guys are panicking while saying you're not panicking. Kick Puncher.
Kind of panicking a little bit.
Maybe that should be part of our discussion. Kick Puncher, 20 months, says penalties, injuries, O-line problems. Oh, my. Yep. Kick Fletch, 26 months, says living in Vikings country really sucks right about now. At least Packers sucked just as bad as we did. Yeah, they sure did.
Now,
you know what ruined my Sunday?
What?
The Bears winning?
The Bears winning. That ruined it. Like, I was already pissed. And I was like, I'll still watch. I was trying to push past my like default setting of like not watching any more football for the rest of the day. And I was like, no, I'm gonna push through it. I'm gonna watch the rest of this Bear game because maybe that'll make me feel better. And then I watched that happen. I'm just like, nope, no more football for today. I'm gonna be grumpy.
So that game was unfolding while I was waiting for Dan's presser, and then I was watching some of the post game locker room stuff. I wasn't in the locker room after the game this week, and I noticed some people were like, hey, well, does this feel like a lost opportunity because the Packers lost and the Bears lost? And I'm like, oh, you didn't catch the end of that game, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because, I mean, I think we need to get used to in the NFL that when you score with 51 seconds left, that doesn't end the football game.
Not when you have the Bengals secondary, it doesn't. That's for sure.
That is definitely
the Bengals defense at all. Like...
But they just needed a field goal to tie, right? I feel like that's true. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think they needed a field goal.
No, the field goal to win. Yeah.
Oh, they only needed a field goal. Oh, right, because it was the whole like they went for 2.
Bengals went for 2 and got it, and they were only down 6. Yeah.
So they only needed a point field goal to win. So
they did. Unfortunately, I will say though that seeing the Packers lose and then the Lions lose was frustrating because I was grumpy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, it's like, again, missed opportunity. I'm grumpy. Like, it doesn't make me feel better that the Packers lost to the Panthers.
I will say this, though. I mean, the NFC North is wide open, right? Like, I don't feel like there's a team that should run away with it right now. I don't feel like there's a team without their own warts at this point. And so, yeah, we're not happy with where the Lions are because they're not a perfect team because the offensive line is serious. in need of some help and all that. But I mean, the Packers lost to one of the worst 500 teams in football.
There's two adjectives on that.
I know. I was gonna say one of the worst teams in football, and then I'm like, okay, that's not fair of the Panthers.
That's not fair. They're 5-4 now.
They're 5-4, but they don't feel like a good football team. They feel like a team that could very well finish like 7-10, right?
Do you feel like that's because their other 4 wins are against the Falcons, Dolphins, Cowboys, and Jets?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. They beat the Cowboys and they beat the Packers. Those are 2 significant wins. And that Cowboys win was like dominant.
The Cowboys win, that game ended up being 30-27.
Yeah, but like Rico Dowdle was just like thumping them. Like
that is what bothers me
stop.
Is seeing other teams run against defenses that the Lions couldn't run against. That is where I'm just like, I know week 1 Lions aren't the same as now Lions, but I do not like seeing that.
But Rico Dowdle, 25 carries for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
A long of 29. So if you play Jeremy's favorite game, 24 carries for 101 yards.
Still pretty darn good, right?
I think I would take that from any Lions running back right now.
By the way, like, we don't need to play that game anymore because success rate exists. Success rate, like, that covers what I have been trying to convey for years.
Jeremy's favorite stat, success rate.
It is. I think I like it more than DVOA these days. By the way,
how much is
DVOA going to be plummeting?
Yeah, no, it won't be good. But the thing I wanted to say, though, or I wanted to ask you guys, was Carolina beating Green Bay at Green Bay in a game where Bryce Young goes 11 of 20 for 102 yards and throws a pick. He had a passer rating of 48.3. Like, does that tell you more about the Packers than it tells you about the Panthers?
I didn't watch any of that game except for literally the game-winning kick, so I don't really know what happened other than what the box score tells me, but
it tells me, I don't know, I feel like it kind of validates some things that I already think about the Packers offensively.
Oh, I have lots of questions about what the Packers can do on offense, even though I guess Jordan Love is an MVP candidate according to ESPN.
Hey, the same way Jared Goff's like plummeted after that Houston game last year, the same thing should happen to Jordan Love's. You just lost to the Panthers.
Sorry, I have to turn the donation alert down because you can no longer hear anybody when it's going off. I turned it up for funsies, but it shouldn't. I should turn it down during like the main PFD cast. Hold on, what? I'll get to some of those alerts in a second. 'Cause I do want to still talk about the Packers a little bit here because, well, I'll admit it. I've seen 2 Jordan Love passes, and one was like a ridiculous 4th down one where he just like he threw it directly at a Panthers player in the end zone, and then the other was a classic Jordan Love YOLO ball into like triple coverage that got picked off. And I'm just like, when is that gonna go away? That was a 1st and 10 play too. I'm just like,
ooh,
if you're going to rid yourself of this, throwing off your back foot, throwing these jump balls downfield and hoping either for a miraculous play from your receiver or a pass interference penalty, like that needs to go away. It's not just like me hating immoral football. It's you are putting the ball in harm's way. And when Kirby Joseph is back there, he's going to make you pay.
Just win, baby. That's all he has to do. That's all he has to do for the rest of his career. Just win.
He's turned 27. That's the same year that Brett Favre won his first Super Bowl.
My God. When I saw Adam Schefter push that across the old timeline, it was I wanted to bully Adam Schefter. I really did. I wanted to bully him, especially because the day before he's carrying all that water for Mickey Mouse and ABC.
Did it again today, by the way.
I know he did for Monday Night Football, right? Oh, if you want to watch Monday Night Football, like
I don't think I'm going to watch Monday Night Football.
Protest,
what?
Protest?
A little bit. Like I can't on YouTube TV, obviously, unless it's on Local 7. Can I still watch it on Local 7? Is it on Local 7?
I think it's just ESPN.
Are they not carrying it on 7?
I think only when they have the 2 games going on, they do that.
Yeah.
Is it not on ABC nationally?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Oh, because I could just, if it was, I could just watch it on my antenna, my digital antenna.
Chat is saying ABC, but I thought that was only when they had 2 games going on for the simulcast.
I thought so too. But
Oh,
again,
no, it looks like it is.
Again, I guess I've never tried to watch it on ABC.
Yeah, it says ABC, ESPN. Go figure. The more you know. You guys really want to watch more football?
I love football too much, and it is 2 NFC teams, but
Yeah, it's Cowboys and
Cardinals.
Who?
Is
Oh,
it Cardinals?
Cowboys and Cardinals?
Yeah.
That'll be entertaining.
I'll pass.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't decide if I'm going to be a scab or not. Scab is not fair, but
I did want to say that I think another thing that makes the offensive line struggles so frustrating for me is like you don't have a quarterback that can overcompensate for that. Like,
right. Yeah.
like he like as the offensive line goes, so does he.
Yeah.
And
No
so
doubt
like
about it.
that is kind of what sucks about this whole thing is like if they don't pick it up, like get ready to see even worse Jared Goff.
It's why they built the team the way they did, right? It's why they poured so many resources into the offensive line is because they know if they can keep Jared Goff clean, he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in football. They also know, conversely, if you can't keep him clean, you're in trouble. It's
We all watched 2021.
right. Part of the reason why he's so good against the blitz but not good against pressure is he had a really good offensive line for a long time, right? Like,
But I think that's what people will like. That's what people will lean on. They're like, no, but he's great against the blitz. Like, yeah, but he sucks against pressure. Like,
right.
But that was the anomaly, right, of his performances against Brian Flores, which also I went back to like the week 18 from last year. Like Goff did not have a good game.
No,
that was a jaw game.
Yeah, I mean it was like a jaw game / it was Sam Darnold turning into the biggest pumpkin of all time game.
Yeah.
Because
when's
like
that going to happen again? By the way, playoffs. We just wait until week 18 again in Seattle to submarine the team.
Man, I don't know, but look at that NFC West.
It's a crazy division.
Like 6-2, 6-3, 6. Like it's 3 6-win teams, and then the Arizona Cardinals. But yeah, to your point though, Meko, like that was the thing that was frustrating yesterday. Was like Goff is not having a good game. Like he missed throws too. Like there were throws that he missed to receivers' feet. There were other throws he missed. Like I thought the Jameson Williams touchdown catch was an incredible catch. Like for JMO to redirect his momentum and catch that ball on the sideline.
Yeah.
Redirect his momentum. Is that what we're calling it?
What's that?
I think.
What would you call it?
I think Isaiah Rodgers had a different word for it.
Huh?
Did you not see him posted on Instagram?
No. What'd he say?
No. What did he say?
OPI, and it was OPI.
Oh, the push off.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right. Here's our weekly segment of Tear Down JMO.
I'm not tearing down JMO. Last week's OPI was not OPI. This week's OPI, it was OPI.
No, ball don't lie.
Yeah, I mean, listen, lines were owed a couple calls in that game, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Do you want to spend the entire second segment on
body weight? I almost wrote something on body weight, but I'm just like, people don't care enough. People don't care enough, and I don't want to sound like sour grapes of a loss because God knows the Lions didn't play well enough to win that football game.
No, but it does not help the cause when like the broadcast team is just like, yeah, nobody likes this. No one likes this penalty.
But I can't believe that they thought it was a penalty. I can't believe that no one picked up that very clearly Jack Campbell puts his hands to the side of J.J. McCarthy to brace his fall, which is in the rule book of what you have to do to avoid that penalty.
But it's also why it's a stupid penalty, though, because like you're expecting refs to see that and recognize that in real time when all they're going to recognize is two people ended up in missionary style and like defense gets a penalty.
Meko, you're saucy tonight. Talking about poop right off the bat. Now we're missionary style. What's happening? Is this what happens when they lose?
I muted myself. I had another comment, and I was like, nope. I'm not.
Here's the thing. I won't write about it unless he gets fined for it. If he gets fined for it, I'm going to be irate and I'm going to let everyone know about it.
There you go.
Oh yeah. I feel like that's the best way to respond to that.
In fact, I'm probably going to write about it either way. I'm going to be like, NFL admits they made a mistake by not fining Jack Campbell. Or
yeah. You can have the pre-write ready.
Yeah.
Just ready to change the title.
I'll write it either way. NFL still doesn't know their own rules by fining Jack Campbell. Boom. There's your two headlines. If any of you steal it, you're dead to me. It's wild to me though that call. Well, it's not that wild to me because I'm sure that sort of stuff is hard to see. I get it, but if you're gonna have that rule in the rule book, you have to expect you don't put a rule in the rule book unless you think the officials can properly enforce it. That doesn't seem like a tough ask, right?
Yeah, doesn't it also just seem like one of those penalties that like the replay assist can handle?
I think
like
I would
rather quickly.
Right. Because right now the only roughing the passer thing that is reviewable is contact to the head. It's the only one that can be picked up. You can't throw a flag, but you can pick one up if there wasn't contact to the head.
If there's replay assist that says like there was no contact to the head.
Correct.
It makes sense because it's one of those plays where it's like you can pretty quickly ID.
Yes.
I think you can pretty quickly ID whether or not a guy fell with his entire weight on top of a quarterback.
I mean, I would normally say yes, but if you're telling me that the Fox broadcast was like, that's the rule, we don't like it, but that's the rule, then now I'm not so sure.
Tinfoil hats. It's Detroit versus everybody. They walked into that game. The Lions were going to do something on defense. Did you see J.J. McCarthy's Instagram post?
That his kneecaps were intact or something?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't like that guy at all. I really don't like him. I don't like him.
Yeah,
I think
I'm rooting against him. I'm rooting against him.
Well, yeah, he's a Viking.
I think he thinks he's smart.
Well, okay, I figured out he wasn't smart when he started talking about like, wasn't he talking about like an electric toothbrush and the waves? Or like
what? I gotta look at this.
There was something that a Michigan broadcast was talking about, like, oh man, now I need J.J. McCarthy toothbrush. Oh, okay, Wolverines quarterback J.J. McCarthy brushes his teeth with his non-dominant hand in order to change the neural patterns in his brain.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
I'm pissed that JJ the Lions ruined my opportunity to troll at the start of this podcast because I was going to sit here with just the hoodie on with it like over the eyes and just sit here for like a good 2 seconds without saying anything.
Oh yeah, because you'll show up to your job on site to meditate because such a practice that is inward and for yourself, you like wouldn't go and do like in the middle of a stadium, right? And put all of the me.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I know I can only truly relax when I'm in a stadium that fits 65,000 people.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's where I really feel. Oh man.
Okay.
No, it's cool though.
This is my tinfoil hat of this entire game. Is that weird? It was a play that Panay got injured on. It was a screen pass to Jameer, I think.
Oh. Yeah.
And the refs threw a
Penalty
flag.
on 61?
They called it on 61 on the offense, who, if you don't know, is nobody. Maybe Ahmed Hassanin later this week. I don't know.
It's not Tristan Colon? Okay.
It's nobody. And I put it out here on Twitter. I wouldn't say I'm certain, but I'm almost confident that penalty was on 51, who literally tackled Penei Sewell on the play and injured him for defensive holding. And instead of admitting their mistake, they just picked up the flag and said there was no penalty. No explanation of what that was. No explanation of anything. I think they saw a 51, thought it was 61, forgot which team it was, called it on the wrong team, and then found out they made a mistake when someone probably went up to them and was like, there's no 61. Who are you talking about? Like, if you want to go back and watch that, it's funny because, like, every now and then one of my tweets will finally reach Vikings Twitter, and then I'll suddenly have a bunch of replies. and one guy was like, I can tell you for certain that Blake Cashman did not toss Penei Sewell. No, that's exactly what happened.
I can tell you for certain what everybody can see with their two eyes is not
Right.
what happened.
And I want to pull it up right now. And I'm trying to think if I show the all 22, is that going to get us in trouble?
You know what
Just
it's reminiscent of
122?
too? Do you remember
Nah,
the penalty that Graham got against the Bears for illegal hands to the face when it was the opposite way?
Yes.
Yes.
That's why this is my theory. It happens sometimes. I don't know
Yeah.
how, but it sometimes happens when they call it on the wrong team.
Mm-hmm.
And it drives me crazy. I don't know how I'm going to find this play, though. Is it going to say Penei is injured on the play in the play-by-play? The second half. I never saw a replay of the defensive holding on Aleem. Was that a good call?
Yes.
It was
No.
a good call.
I don't really remember that. I remember the penalty. I don't remember the actual play. I remember them cutting to Aleem's face after the play, and he didn't seem like he was too upset about it.
Who was the penalty on where they were like, that was on Aiden, where they technically called him for like
tripping?
swinging the leg.
He definitely got his leg out there.
He did, and I do like. There's part of me that wonders if he was just like trying to draw the hold, like he wasn't trying to trip, but he was trying to draw a holding penalty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
I don't know if I'm going to find this play.
Oh, did we ever figure out what that list cast was supposed to be?
We did not.
Who was that from?
That is from Bayad. So Bayad, if you're in the chat, let me know. They were going left to right. In the fourth quarter, they were going right to left, so it had to be in the third, I think. It was a third and something or other. 3rd and 13 before the fumble. I think this must have been it. Yeah, I think this is it. Hold on.
But also, I don't think it was ever in question, but like, Penei is clearly like the toughest dude on the team.
Where's that flag come from?
Because I just kept feeling like I don't know if he should still be playing, and it just like he just continued to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably now that Frank retired. Yeah, I would agree.
I'm
Oh,
100% right. I'm 100% right. I've decided. I'm 100% right. This is what happened on the play. 100% right. All right. You guys need to see it. All right. Screen. I mean, I don't need to tell you that it's a screen, right? It's a 3rd and long, so you know it's a screen pass. To Jameer. Penei is where Penei is. Now watch 51. Right here. Blake Cashman. Right here. He tackles Penei Sewell, and boom, there comes the flag from the top right. From a guy who would have a really good look on the play, the back judge here. He just tackles Penei to get him out of the play. And you know what? It's a great idea because Penei probably takes this guy out right there, and he could break it.
Everyone does.
Am I wrong? Like,
No, you're not wrong.
That's had to would have
Like,
happened on this play.
and it would take the referee crew to admit that they got it wrong.
Yeah, you can't open that Pandora box.
Why? I mean, why? Like, sometimes refs be like, sorry, we called it on the wrong team. It was actually 51 of the defense. Like, that's all you have to do.
Sure, but like it takes a man to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, I thought
clearly I didn't see any
trouble. Like, he's holding his shoulder hard there. Like, he is writhing. Let's maybe it looks better on this other side. Like, this one makes it look like he hits him pretty good there. But like, yeah, he pulls him down still. Like, I think this more is like, oh, Blake Cashman realized he's cooked. Let me take down Panay with me.
Yeah, this is like a jumping hip toss to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that play sucks.
Imagine how irate Jeremy's going to be if Jack Campbell gets fined this week and Blake Cashman doesn't for this play.
Blake Cashman's not going to get fined for that. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't know if it's a finable offense anyways, but I will be mad if Jack Campbell's. No doubt. Anyways.
Anyway.
Where was I? Kay Fletch, thank you for the 26 months. I already read yours. Soulful Break, did I read your $50 donation? I did. AC Deal, thank you for the 5 months. Says, I think Ryan read Jeremy's column for PODD. Maybe it's not uncharacteristic anymore. I did make a similar point. I said, like,
for what?
In my PODD, I'm like, hey, we keep calling these like uncharacteristic performances from the Lions. It's starting to move into characteristic territory.
Nice. I don't read PODD, so
great.
Look at this. Look at our take syncing up.
That's right.
Like you guys have been like doing a podcast together for years.
It doesn't feel like that long.
Wait, what? Since what?
There it is.
I got distracted because I saw news that Dan Quinn admitted he was an idiot for having Jane Daniels out there.
Yeah, I saw that, and I didn't know that he was he injured going in. Like,
yeah, I didn't either.
Injured, or was it just late in the game and the game was like out of hand?
Oh yeah,
or...
no, it was like a four possession game with 7 minutes left, and he was still in the game.
Not great.
It was 8:20, right when the game was starting. I'm like, you know what? Let's flip the page. Let's just start scouting Washington. And then that game started. I'm like, no, I'm going to sleep. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sleep.
It was Sam Darnold just on fire.
I woke up and it was like 21-0. I'm like, okay, I'm going to move to sleep to my bed. And then I woke up and it was the fourth quarter. And I like 2 minutes later, I see Jane Daniels get injured in a game that's already over. I'm like, oh shit. Do I need to get up and write something? I'm like, no, no, I'm not getting up and writing anything. I'm just going to click retweet of someone saying that Jane Daniels is injured from Pride of Detroit, and that's my news reporting of the night.
Oh, couldn't even put it on the feed. Come on.
No, nope.
Play for the name. Play for the name on the front.
No one
would be a
after a game like that.
They didn't mismanage their quarterback.
At 11 p.m. after a game like that, how many Lions fans are like, let's read more about that game?
Yeah, like I don't even want to associate or engage with football tonight.
Right.
Like I'm very much of the Meko mindset. When the Lions lose, it's like hard to watch football the rest of the day.
I was joking with another writer who I won't name, and he's just like, yeah, I can't wait to spend all night writing something that no one's going to read tomorrow. I'm like, well, if you just write 3 words, then people are going to read it. What 3 words do you think I was thinking of?
Fire John Morton.
That's right. That's right. Winner.
Nice.
Caden Mike drops, thank you for the follow. Emery Bright, thank you for the 21 months, says time for Mike McDaniel. I've already seen some people float that out there, and I'm just like, how can that be what you want after watching what's happening in Miami? Is he really that much of a case of good offensive coordinator, bad head coach? Because the offense ain't looking pretty good over there either right now.
I'll
Yeah.
answer the question too. I saw someone ask, how much would you guys have to donate for me to shave my beard? It's not gonna happen. My marriage would be on the line.
When's the last time you've seen your cheeks? Don't take that the
Front.
wrong way.
Oh,
No, don't. I had to get ahead of you because I know what you're doing today, Meko.
it's funny. Me and my daughter were talking about this morning because like her biology teacher shaved his beard,
Mm-hmm.
and they thought they had a sub. Um,
That's funny.
I think the last time I didn't
Chat,
have like a full beard
stop.
was probably like I don't know. It had to be before my youngest was born. So AJ's 8.
Wow.
So it might have been. It had to have been before Kalila got pregnant with her. I think that might have been the last time.
Dang.
It explains why it was before she got pregnant.
Yeah, because once it happened,
A lot of exclamation point, show cheeks, and show tail in the chat, Meko.
Chat, grow up.
tail I can definitely do with the right, you know,
The right
with the right
Bucky's
motivation.
onesie.
Yeah.
Does it have the butt flap? The
No,
onesie
just
butt
as the
flap?
beaver tail. No,
Oh,
but
that's
it
right.
does unzip from the bottom, so it makes makes that easier.
Sarnik, no. We're calling you Chico in the chat.
That seems slightly. I'm gonna take that as racially charged.
I do have to start using the word pause. You're right. I just need to be more self-aware.
More like
And
Aiden
pause.
Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Remember when Aiden Hutchinson hit the pause and we were like, whoa,
Whoa, hey, there's personality. Where did that
you
come
can-
from?
you can go off script? Like you can is that similar to like when people find those like, oh man, like look at this hack for Chat GPT. Like it'll get you to do anything.
Right.
Like-
And there was a malfunction in his programming after too. Like he threw himself off. That's my favorite part of it.
Yeah.
It's like, it took him a second to recover from
To
like,
reprogram. Yeah.
Oh, that just reminds me I have to do his contract breakdown. Which
That's honestly like my biggest fear, to be like in a meeting at work or something and like drop pause or some sort of slang term and have no escape for it. Like just have to sit there and be like, yeah, that was said.
Did you see Carmelo Anthony had to do that on the NBC broadcast? But like he didn't say pause, right? Like
He said, huh?
huh? Yeah, huh?
I love how
Chat
like
is
the internet
willing
as a
to-
collective like picked up on that.
Yeah.
Like the tone alone was like, nah, he meant pause.
Chat is willing to gamble Miko's marriage for charity.
Oh, I'm not. Me showing
Emery,
my cheeks isn't worth me losing cheeks. All right, I'm not doing that.
jeez.
Golly,
General
Face
Iro, thank you. Now I'm lost. Thank you for the 28 months. Says Hank Fraley of Frank Ragnow, Kevin Zeitler merchant. Listen, he is the run game coordinator, and I feel like it's not completely fair to blame John Morton for everything that's not working with the run game.
I mean, that's why I said like it's hard for me to blame John Morton when like most of those plays were over so quickly. Where it's like I don't know what the hell you called. I just know it ended very quickly.
Right.
Yeah, and like to that point too, though, there's just so much personnel change from last year to this year.
Yeah.
In the interior, and it's hard to like suss out the blame, especially because you're working off of 8 games. It's like half a season. It's like, are we so confident that we can put all the blame in this one spot?
No, because I also don't feel like this is like I remember the Anthony Lynn year where it was like so obvious that like this is not the offense that they should be running. And I don't think that's the issue here. I think it's a lot of just like execution, and there's a lot
Mhm.
of just like missed assignments offensively where it's like, no, I think the guy might be calling the right plays, but like he can't make them block better. Like he can't make you diagnose a double A gap blitz. Like you kind of got to do that yourself.
Yeah, there's certainly part of that. Did you see
If you're
Jeremy?
writing Miko cheeks on your forehead, I'm
So,
going to be
someone is asking me to draw something, and this is not fair because I cannot draw. And also, I'm used to having the image reversed. It's not reversed on this scene for some reason.
That's tough because for a
I've
second there, when you smudged your forehead, it looked like Jalen Brown.
um. So we're getting all these $25 donations, and everyone is forgetting that for a $25 donation, I will write anything on my face within reason. McSpearman donated $25, said added one extra for my commitment to contribute. Lions score. Please Google flame icon and draw one of those images on your forehead. And I can't do it, but I'm gonna try. It's already terrible. The second. So start and then draw. No, that's the wrong way. It's terrible.
This is a mess. This is like watching Teddy try to take on
Yeah.
the potty.
Sorry, this isn't easy as it looks.
Is
There's a
that
flame.
supposed to be
That clearly is a flame, obviously.
from this far away? It looks like you really tried hard
It
to
looks
draw
like a
Kirby.
A vase is what it looks like, but I can't. I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can
it
do
looks like a
letters.
thumbs up from my angle.
It's like an ink blot. Like,
Yeah, you see whatever.
what
you
are all
wanna
the
see.
things you see? Yeah.
Um, thank you, Jay Rago, for the $50 donation. MNUFC with a $25 donation says, sad day to be a Minnesota-based Lions fan, but excited to donate to a great cause. Appreciate that. And then we just got another one that came in, and I didn't see it. So let me refresh. $100 anonymous donation wants to change my background.
To what?
I don't know. There's a big long link, and I see the word Minnesota Vikings in it, and I'm not happy. And it's not a valid link, so I guess I don't have to do it. No, let me see. I don't know what happened here with your link. It's all over the place.
The more I stare at your forehead, the more it looks like Panay Sewell holding penalty. It looks like Jack Campbell's putting all of his weight on your forehead right now. Huh?
Well, okay.
Looks
I'll
like
do
a
it.
sucker
This,
punch
this
from
does mean we have to
Ryan
change back to the old layout, which I can do pretty quickly. Believe it. That's just me. Oh, wait, no, that's everybody. All right. All right, I got to change to the me scene real quick. A quick suggestion if anyone is donating to change my background, try to find a landscape one instead of a horizontal one, because it'll make this one a little challenging.
I already don't like how this is. I already don't like this. Nope.
Oh, Swartzen.
We're gonna put there. You can't see the Vikings hat.
There we go. All right. I mean, I can see the purple, but
Hey, there's some Commanders news. Frankie
Yeah?
Lulu suspended for one game without pay.
Oh, hip
Oh.
drop. Third hip drop of the season. Wow. Okay,
that's a
well,
big loss.
the excuses are starting to run out for the Lions this week.
Yeah,
I
tell
don't
me
care
about
how
it.
many tackles are missing. So they lose.
No
Obviously,
Jaden Daniels, no
Jaden
Terry
Daniels.
McLaurin.
is Terry McLaurin still out?
Yeah, I think they
Hmm.
said today that he's not going to play.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Their corner tore his ACL. What's his
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
It's a good corner.
Lattimore. Hmm.
Marshawn Lattimore.
Lattimore.
And now from no Frank Louvu.
Yeah. Terry McLaurin is set to miss week 10.
Ryan Jared Goff could very well throw 5 touchdowns this week.
Won't happen. David Montgomery, please save me.
All right, are we caught up on alerts? I think there might be a couple more Twitter alerts out there. Oh, Damian Smith, a 5-pound super chat says, Jeremy, when you said the Lions will torture you, I thought you were going into a cage with the Lions. Also, Ryan, why are you blocked by Detroit Podcasts? We're not going to get into that part, but no, the Lions are torturing us by making us do physical or I guess physical challenges in all cases. Up downs, mile runs, and chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggies. Sorry, honestly, that challenge for me was kind of like I wanted to channel like Brandon Knapp into our Thanksgiving, into, the Movember food Thanksgiving. Brandon Knapp only eats chicken nuggies.
Brandon Knapp,
Chicken
like, he
tenders.
no longer holds the title for pickiest Lions writer, though. I mean, Rich Silver.
Oh, I've
for
heard
Detroit
stories.
News is just unbelievable. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus because I like him a lot. He's a good dude, but just search the hashtag Rich Eats.
And you'll find out.
Yeah. J Rago 100 bit says, "Is it legal to hire Ragnow as an assistant coach and tell him his only job is to solve the other team's defense and teach it to Graham and Goff?" I mean, no. It's never gonna happen, but no.
No, it feels a bit patronizing in a way.
I can't. There's been a lot of like, what can we ever do to get Frank back? And the answer is nothing.
Yeah, and
I'm
also the amount of people like, and I know they're trolls, but like
he quit
just
on the
crapping
team.
on Frank. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like stop it. Don't be that way.
No, I was going for patronizing. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, there it is.
Blind Nudist, thank you for the first time subscriber. Blind Nudist, that seems oddly appropriate for this stream. Space Kataz 45 months subscribed on Twitch says, WTF did I watch yesterday? Sweet Jesus, that game sucked rocks. Not my favorite. Limitless, thank you for the follow. And AP Durag 19 months subscribed on Twitch says, love you guys. I want more JMO plays, please. So does Meko.
Nope, December. Wait till December.
Just have it break out in December. We are at 2,900. Oh, this doesn't have the. Maybe I should add them. Browser. Oh, it doesn't have it. Shoot.
This headline from Sports Illustrated about Terry McLaurin maybe just sums up the vibes in Washington, but Terry McLaurin is set to miss week 10 as the Commanders season flushes itself away.
Oh, man. Yikes.
Him and Myles Garrett must like be kicking themselves for like not standing their ground on the whole like just trade me.
A lot of injury news this week, though, huh?
Yeah, Tucker
See-
Kraft.
Tucker Kraft, that's a big one. The Bears lost Deo for the rest of the season, Achilles injury.
Mm.
All right. I'm done with alerts. We're at, what was the total? $2,394. I think I'm going to save the Wheel of Pain for the end of the POD cast. And again, if we raise $610 before the end of the second segment here, we can we do 2 spins on the Wheel of Pain.
Ooh.
Sound good?
Sounds great. Oh yeah, Michael Williams too. Torn
Oh
ACL
yeah,
for the 49ers.
I did not like that.
Oh, I
But
mean,
it's
that
my
just sounds
dude.
like, 49ers luck to me.
Yeah, I mean
Trade
when it
deadline
rains
is
it pours.
4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes. Which I should also let people know, and we'll probably say it at the end of the POD cast as well. But midweek mailbag is going to be a nighttime edition because it's election day across Michigan, and that means the machine has to be a babysitting machine for most of the day.
Not babysitting when it's your own kids.
True, but he's a machine, so like, can a machine have kids?
Very
Probably gonna find
carefully.
out. We're probably gonna find out in like the next 50 years, given where technology is going.
Oh my gosh. What are we going to talk about in the second segment?
Individual performances. Like we didn't talk
Okay.
about Terrion. We didn't talk about JMO. We didn't talk about. I don't know. There are probably other guys.
Hmm.
I thought Jack had
Jack.
another really good week.
He did. And then I think we should do some trade deadline talk, even though it's going to be outdated in 20 hours.
That's fine. Sounds good. Let's
All
do
right.
it. Let's talk about it.
And we can talk about the Packers if we want it, like to end on a high note. Oh, I probably have to change the bottom text here. Lions. Who did we just play?
The Minnesota Vikings.
Great. Okay. I'm ready when you are.
And welcome back to the Pride of Detroit POD cast, segment 2 here, where we are going to be talking about trade deadline news. But before we get to that, let's get some positivity back into the podcast. We spent the first segment really lamenting all of the things that the Lions did wrong and how this game kind of got away from them. But there were some standout performances in this game. Jeremy, I'm gonna start with you. Who is one player or even one side of the football that kind of stood out to you from this game?
Well, I want to shout out Terrion, and maybe that's because I'm a Terrion apologist, and I'm using quote fingers because I've been called that multiple times. But listen, I mean, in the game he got injured, it seemed like he was turning a corner, and in his first game back, not only he get his first interception of his career, but he gets two other pass defense, including like a one-on-one with Justin Jefferson in the red zone. A really impressive play where he's right in the right position. So I thought it was a nice game for him. I know his run defense wasn't as good. He did make one good run stop, but I know PFF charted him with 3 missed tackles on the day, and I think he was a guy that mentioned that in his post game presser that he's not really focused on the interception. They lost. Plus, he didn't think he did a good enough job in run defense, but I trust him. Like that's something he's actually been pretty good at his entire career is to stick his nose in the run game and tackle well. So that's something that I know he can do well, and I'm willing to excuse a bad game of. It's the coverage stuff that we've always had the most questions about, and that's a question that I think he answered pretty well on Sunday. And in general, I think the Lions secondary did a pretty good job. There were a couple catches that only Justin Jefferson can make. The game clinching one, Arthur Millette was in pretty good position, just didn't turn his head and make a play on the ball. For a guy like Arthur Millette, you'll take that. I mean, you don't want it, but you'll take it. And so I don't know. I still feel pretty optimistic about the Lions secondary. I know Brian Branch didn't have a very eventful game, but when DJ Reed comes back in a couple weeks and Kirby comes back in a week or two, I'm still going to feel pretty good about where the secondary is at, and Terrion continuing what I think is an upward trajectory is helping out my confidence there.
No, I think that's a good one. I think a lot of fans were, I guess, reinvigorated by seeing Terrion out there. I think for me personally, like I was very iffy in regards to like how was his shoulder actually going to hold up. But to your point, like him still getting involved in the run game, him taking a couple of falls here or there, like and seeing him kind of just bounce back up, like, okay, like he really is good. This isn't a situation where maybe some ego got in the way, Ryan, and he kind of rushed himself back. He played really well. Anybody else from you that kind of stood out in this game?
In a good way, I I mean I have to give credit where credit's due for JMO because I have to be the JMO apologist, quote unquote, throw those in air quotes. But um, they wanted to get him more involved. Yeah, it happens at the end of the game, but like that one play does give the Lions a glimmer of hope and gives them the shot to maybe win a football game that they shouldn't have won otherwise. Um, but I mean, it was great on the day. 4 catches, 66 yards, 16 and a half a pop, the touchdown, the big play, the explosive play, right? Like on a day where explosive plays were extremely limited. As far as, you know, I think what catches beyond like 10 yards. I mean, how many of those were there in this game? Not a ton. And you know, it was nice to see them make a concerted effort after talking about it for 2 weeks, during the bye week and everything. Like, hey, we really need to get JMO more involved in the offense. I mean, 5 targets, for JMO, that's that. I mean, that's a lot, and it's the most he's had since the Cleveland game, which feels like it was forever ago. So, credit where credit's due. Jameson Williams involved.
Just frustrating it
Yeah,
took
I
as
think
long
the
as
same
it
thing
did,
could be
though,
said.
right?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. I think the same thing could be said for Sam Laporta, right? I mean, tied for the lead in receiving yards with Amon-Ra St. Brown with 97 off of 6 receptions and the touchdown. Um, I think Jeremy, like what you're saying, like with both of those guys, it is kind of weird that it's taking so long to get them like weekly involved. Like it seems very spotty for both JMO and Laporta, and it's one of those things where again, we talked about it last week, or at least I brought it up last week. Like I think the connection between Saint and Goff is great. But those other two guys are out there too, and they're just as capable of making plays and taking, you know, cracks in the defense and kind of blowing those up into bigger plays. And I think we saw that with JMO with that touchdown that kind of put them within striking distance. And I think we saw that early on with Sam Laporta being able to get that big, long run in one of his receptions as well. So I think that's something that if you're John Morton, like as bad as that defense, as bad as the offense played, you do kind of have to walk away a little bit reassured, like, you know what? Maybe I do need to refocus some of my attention on these two guys as well as Amon-Ra St. Brown, in addition to Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery.
It's also like this. I know this is supposed to be the section where we're like praising guys, but it's also weird to me that the Lions are just essentially getting nothing out of the wide receiver 3 position right now. Like they're not ever targeting Khalif. You're
To
not
Slaw.
even playing to Slaw at this point. I think he played 2 or 3 snaps in this game. It's not like they need 50, 60 yards out of that position every week, but I don't think they've gotten more than 30 out of either of those guys in a single game. And it's just like, maybe that could help. Maybe that could help lift some of the weight off of Amon-Ra's shoulders or Sam Laporta's shoulders, or JMO's shoulders. Not that JMO's carrying a big burden right now necessarily, but I don't know, it's just something to think about. Like it feels like they should be getting more out of that position, even if it is only like 2 catches or 3 catches a game. Like that could help.
No,
If you
yeah.
watch this game, like they were, like a lot of teams are, just they're trying to take away Amon-Ra. They're trying to bracket Amon-Ra. And JMO tends to run routes that take a little bit longer. And so it'd be nice to have another release valve there that isn't just Sam Laporta. And I guess the answer to that is like the 1 or 2 catches that Brock Wright gets every game. But how about another guy?
Yeah, I think that there are those moments in games I remember from years past where it's like, oh, there's an explosive to Khalif Raymond. That's like, if it's
Mm-hmm.
a pass or if it's a run, it's like, oh, it was a 15, 16, 25-yard play. Like one explosive from Khalif Raymond like helps the offense like get in position where like their skill players, their marquee players can then make plays, right? Because it's almost like there's the threat of another guy there. And like not the threat of like a talent or like just like the threat of, oh, they'll actually use this guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where it's like you actually have to get the ball to those guys before the defense kind of takes takes
Respects him.
things seriously.
Right.
And that's the question I have about the offense right now, because I know that there's tons of data that says like, oh, you don't actually have to be able to run the football to be
Okay.
successful
Yeah.
in play action. I think the Lions this year are going to be a really interesting case study in like how successful is Jared Goff in play action when the Lions aren't the most efficient, effective, or like successful team at running the football.
Yeah. It's
That
really interesting.
yesterday was a game where like I know that this isn't Madden, like real football isn't Madden, but like there were times in that game where I'm just like, all right, maybe you just throw all of your offensive weapons like on the field at the same time and then see what Brian Flores' reaction is to that when like you have Monty, Jameer Gibbs, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, and Amon-Ra. Like, all right, now what do you do? Now who do you try and cover? Who do you try and focus on? And I think like going back to something we kind of talked about in the first segment, which is like I do think that sometimes this offense is getting too predictable with whether it's the personnel or the just like the types of plays that they're calling on certain downs of distance where you kind of just wish that they would throw in a wrinkle, throw in something that's very just unexpected, from a defensive perspective to see how they respond in the moment.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm thinking about is just let's literally spread our receivers out a little bit more. Like not just let's put four receivers out there, but like actually spread them apart, because one of the things they love to do is these tight formations because they love their wide receivers blocking and all that sort of stuff. But that's not like, I don't know how many times we need to say it. The run game's not working as it's currently designed. So let's maybe just get a little bit different with the passing game. Now, you're 2 months in the season. I don't know how much of that you can add, you can implement, you can install and run to a point where you're actually comfortable with it, but I think you need to start exploring some creative options at this point, and that might mean some bigger changes. And listen, your personnel's good enough to catch on. I'm willing to bet that if you throw them some things Amon-Ra's way or JMO's way or Sam Laporta's way, they're going to catch on. But maybe this is the answer to getting the ball out quicker, is you're literally spreading your guys wider. You're running routes with more room in them where JMO can get a little bit more free, because everything bunched together, it doesn't seem like it's working right now in the run game. It doesn't seem like it's working in terms of getting open quick enough. And plus, it does what you just said. It throws the defense off because it's something that they haven't seen out of the Lions much this year.
Yeah. I do want to get back to like talking about some of the positives from this game, and I thought this was another really good week for Jack Campbell. I think we kind of talked about it, last week, and I think we talked about it a couple of times so far, but like he continues to kind of just like jump off the screen at this point. Whether I think this game it was a lot of like just, a lot of him creating pressure. We know about, the bad roughing the passer penalty that was kind of called him, but like those are the kind of plays, Ryan, that I want to see from Jack. Like I want to see him that type of involved in creating those types of opportunities either for himself or for other members of the defense.
Yeah, Jack really shined. He's really becoming just like an all phases guy. Like if it hasn't happened already, I think like that was the one thing we were waiting. It was like the coverage aspect and everything too. And um, I think Jack is just like the most dependable, rock solid player that I can find on this defense. And that's a
Yeah.
defense that includes like Aiden Hutchinson, and it's a defense that includes, a lot of really talented football players. I think that like if there's one player I can count on them being in the right spot and making the right play, down in, down out, I think like Jack Campbell is that guy.
I think he's taken such a big step as a pass rusher, as a blitzer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he had the highlight of the game for the Lions where he just ran Jordan Mason into JJ McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that was an incredible play. And there are some stats to back it up too. I don't know if they've included this week's game in the total, but he has yeah, I'm doing the math. 11 pressures in the past 6 games. His career high is 13 pressures in a single season. His PFF pass rushing grade is 81.2. Previous 2 years, it was 53.2 and 50.6. So he's taken essentially a 30-point jump in PFF's grading system, but he also has 4 sacks this year compared to 3.5 over his first 2 seasons. And it's changed a lot of what they do. It allows them to get a little bit of juice in their pass rush without, the guy opposite Aiden Hutchinson or whatever you're looking for in the Lions front seven. And all the while, he's still an extremely reliable tackler. He's still extremely efficient in the run game. He's a guy that doesn't lose gap integrity, seems to be able to get through or around any second level blocks. I still think coverage is his weak point, and especially when he's in zone, but they don't rely on him doing that as much anymore because he's such a good pass rusher. And
they have Derek Barnes who can help. Yeah,
and
alleviate
Alex
some of that.
Anzalone is their best coverage guy anyway. So, yeah, I'm with you, Meko. I think he continues to be one of the best players on the defense, and everything I wanted from him this year, not just a year 3 jump, but a year 3 jump in some of those explosive plays, whether they be forced fumbles or sacks or pressures or whatever they are, it's coming, and it's getting to a point where, I think he might make noise as a Pro Bowl. I think he might make noise as an All-Pro because he's starting to put the stats behind the production, and that's good to see for a first-round pick here.
Yeah, it's almost like, playing linebacker in the NFL might take a couple years for a guy to kind of wrap his head around the position and finally get to a point where he's comfortable. Because I think that's the biggest thing, Brian, as well, that I noticed is that, the comfort level of when he's doing these things. It's not like they've never blitzed him before. It's just he seems like he has much more confidence and much more know-how in terms of, how to get from point A to point B in the most efficient way of doing that without really hesitating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great to see.
One thing that we probably should talk about, though, with the trade deadline quickly approaching here, do either of you guys see a need, first of all, for the Lions to make a trade at the deadline, or a possible move that could, a realistic move that Lions fans could maybe hang their hat on? Ryan, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this, but it may have been in the break, but any NFL media type that is pushing that the Lions need another defensive lineman, I don't think that is the most important need at this juncture for the Lions. I think getting an offensive lineman is something that they should seriously consider. I know that Dan Campbell wanted to highlight some guys Guakin, and want to talk about Michael Neese as some veteran guys that they like. Highlighted Tristan Colon, who has experience. Notably, he said, brought up the center stuff. So I don't know how much tinkering the Lions are willing to do along their interior of their offensive line. I think that might be the trickiest thing to pull off, because truly to me, it feels like this offense would be light years better, I think, their offensive line, if they did a lot of shuffling. And it feels like an off season's worth of shuffling to do. Graham would have to go back to right guard, Ratledge would come in at left guard, and they could insert a center that they would feel comfortable with. But that just seems like such a off-season thing to handle. It feels like something that would be really tough to pull off in season, but that feels like it would be the ideal thing to do. But in the meantime, they have an open spot at left guard, and I think I feel okay with Yodi in that spot. But Jeremy, I don't think that just plugging in Yodi makes me feel any better long term with the ceiling for this offensive line.
No, I do think they should at least explore options at guard, maybe even at tackle, given that we don't really know whether Panay or Decker are going to be okay for this week. Now, obviously, if you trade for someone, there's no even guarantee that they're going to play this week. Zadarius Smith took at least a couple weeks, at least 1 week, because I know he didn't even get his bye week, and part of that may have been why. But I think there's 2 names that have been thrown out there, and one, I'm down with one. I'm less down about the other. Zeitler.
One of them. Okay.
Kevin Zeitler is one that a lot of people have talked about. That's the one I'm not entirely thrilled about, because that involves moving your rookie guard to a position that you don't plan on him playing. Because Zeitler is a right guard. He's played right guard for his entire career. As much as Graham wanted to play right guard, they weren't going to move Zeitler to left guard when he was here. So if you trade for Zeitler, he's playing right guard, which means you're moving Tate Ratledge either to center, which I don't think is a smart move to make this deep into the season, or moving him to left guard, which is a change, an alteration, and it feels like you're not fixing the problem at left guard when you do something like that. Like I do think Tate Ratledge is starting to play some better football. He's not great, and there's still a lot that he needs to learn. But if you move him to left guard, I feel like he's going to be even more of a liability, and that doesn't fix the thing that is already a liability because you don't have your starter there.
Yeah, but he
Well,
could
and it
just
also
try.
doesn't feel
Yeah,
like I was gonna just say like it also doesn't feel like by getting another right guard like you're not fixing the biggest issue of your offensive line, which isn't like I know we're talking about like filling the gap at left guard, but like I think we would all like even if they were all healthy, we would all be like center is kind of the issue here more so than it is either guard spot.
I
Yeah,
think you get. I think you get the best version of Graham at right guard, and I think Graham signed here with every intention of playing right guard,
right.
and
Hmm.
center was again to take it to my initial point. Like that was Graham playing center was plan B.
Yeah,
This team wanted to put Ratledge at center. They can't do that now. Maybe if you're moving Tate Ratledge to left guard, you just have him start brushing his toothbrush with his non-dominant hand, and he can learn how to do it real easily. Uh, but what about Joel Bitonio
that's the other one that I'm
from the
I'm I'm
Cleveland
all in
Browns?
on. Yeah,
I mean, career played his entire career at left guard,
yep.
Jeremy.
He's 34, so expectation should be limited there, but he's not going to cost you almost anything in terms of cap space because all of his contract was in option bonuses and signing bonuses. He's got a $1.2 million salary that is, I believe, the only thing that's going to come with him for Detroit. I don't know what that kind of cost would be, but it's the last year of his contract, so that'll drive the price down. I don't know what the Browns are currently thinking about their football team. What are they, 2-5? So they're probably not thinking playoffs. Although that's a very strange division at the same time. So I don't know. Who knows? But either way, like that is one that I think they should at least explore for the time being because I mean, what's the harm in getting another veteran in that room that's a little young that could use maybe another veteran presence? And
Mm-hmm.
is he playing his best football at this point in his career? No, but just perusing his PFF grades, a 72.4 and a 70.8 run blocking grade. I'll take that. I'll take that. And when it comes to training for an offensive lineman, you're going to have to preach some patience there because we talked about it all this year. Like, it's going to take a while for this offensive line to gel. And the reason why I think the Lions might be more inclined to put Coyote in there is because he's got a lot of experience with a lot of these guys. He's filled in so many times over the past 3 years, and I think even Decker admitted it, said it after the game. He's like, yeah, when he slid in, it's just like, oh yeah, now I'm just playing next to Yodi. I've done that 3 or 4 times in my career. There's not an adjustment period there. But when you bring in a guy that's not familiar with your scheme, that's not familiar with the guys on his left and right, that's not going to look great right away. And so that is one of the drawbacks to draft, not to trading for a guard over some of these other positions that might not require that kind of chemistry to get the most out of them.
Yeah, and I think that's the direction that I think like Ryan to your point earlier, if there is a push from the fan base, right, of like oh like the Lions need to make a move. At this point, it does feel like it has to be across the offensive line. Like I think there's been enough there they've gotten enough from their defensive line, plus they still have things that they still have players that they will get back from injury that I think will help bolster that group. Finding someone to help like reinforce that offensive line is absolutely huge. I guess the question though is how likely do you think it is that Brad Holmes makes a deal? Because we kind of saw it last year where it's like things had to get pretty dire for the defensive line for Brad Helms to finally like kind of pull the trigger on Zadarius Smith. Do you guys think things are getting to that point with the offense in general? I wouldn't even say the offensive line, the offense in general, for him to make a deal.
I, I, last year was such a unique situation that I don't think it could have been any more catastrophic. I don't think the offensive line is at that point, Jeremy, but I would almost categorize this as dire in the immediate. And I don't know if that necessarily pushes Brad Holmes to making a trade to answer your question, Miko, in terms of the probability of
Mm-hmm.
it happening. But I would definitely say that considering Chris Mahogany broke his leg and he is not going to be available for a quote very long time, according to Dan Campbell. And we know when Dan Campbell says that, he means a very long time. where's Miles Frazier in terms of him being ready? That's not happening anytime soon.
Nope.
So now you're getting into a depth situation, and you have an opening at left guard. And then in the immediate, Jeremy, like you said, with the tackle position, where's Geo at? Dan Skipper, you know, Taylor Decker, Panay Sewell, like that's all of your that's all of your talent.
Yeah.
And I think that things have gotten to the point along the offensive line where, remember, we said this at the beginning of the year. If Frank doesn't retire, and I'm not putting this on Frank, but I'm saying if Frank doesn't retire, you look at the Lions offseason and drafting Tate Ratledge and getting Miles Frazier, re-signing Graham Glasgow, you feel really good about your depth. You
Yep.
remove Frank Ragnow, and all of a sudden the depth is so precarious
Yeah.
that the Lions have gotten to the point where the depth is being called on to start.
Right.
And I think, Jeremy, that's where you can justify trading a 6th-round pick or doing a late-round pick swap for Joel Bitonio.
Yeah. And yeah, that's also where I push back on some people are like, the Lions should have been better prepared for Frank Ragnow's retirement. Well, I mean, they went out and did that this offseason. They tried to their
They
might
got
to
Tristan
prepare for the
Colon
future.
too. Yeah.
Right. And you know, I do think Tate Ratledge is their answer for long-term center, and maybe they didn't know if it was coming this year or next year, but like, you can only do so much in each draft, right? You can't draft your center of the future and also get corners that you expect to be your corners of the future, and also get a wide receiver, or maybe get an offensive tackle that you think might be the tackle of your future. There's only so much you can do, and so I think the Lions actually did do a pretty good job protecting their offensive line in the future. The problem is there is this buffer period that we're now experiencing right now where your young guys are getting the experience they need. They're getting the chemistry built that they need to be built. Unfortunately for Christian Mahogany, some of that is going to have to be put on hold here, but in the meantime, yeah, I do think it would make sense to get a veteran guard in here to provide at least a little bit of stability, knowing that, again, there is going to be an adjustment period for that new player. So to get back to the original question, are the Lions actually going to do this? I don't know. I'm kind of like 50-50 on it, because they do keep kind of hyping up their depth. They do keep hyping up Tristan Colon and all the other guys that are there on the practice squad. You know, I do think they like Coyote. I do think they like Kingsley is an option on the practice squad. Nice is a guy that's played a little bit of football. But given that I already wasn't happy with this interior offensive line's play, just an infusion of talent would be nice. Like, I wouldn't have advocated for that without a Christian Mahogany injury, even though they probably could have benefited from it, because I think you just need your young players to play right now if they can. Mm-hmm. You need that development to happen. You need them to take their licks so that they're better on the other end of it. But since that is now not possible for Christian Mahogany, get someone in there who can ball and improve the offensive line to a point where they're playing to the standard. The standard is a standard. We heard it all offseason, but it's not playing to the standard right now, and it wasn't before Christian Mahogany's injury. So yeah, get a little influx of talent in there. I think it would do wonders for this team.
And I think there's been enough like proof in the pudding. Like, I think they've played 8 games so far this season. I would say 3 of them have like had some pretty rough performances from the offensive line. Obviously, week 1 against Green Bay, the Kansas City game, and now you've had this game against the Vikings, where, Ryan, kind of to your point, where like maybe it's not as disastrous as like the defensive line was last year, but I think there's enough evidence there where you're like, hey, like we do kind of need to bolster this group by within a reasonable means, right? I was about to say by any means necessary, but like within a reasonable means of what we can actually afford to expend to still be able to keep, building this team we want to. And I think getting the offensive lineman from the Browns would be like the perfect type of deal, because it's like you said, it's a guy who's 34 years old. You're not going to have to look to try and keep him past 3-4 seasons into his career. Like, you're probably looking at like this is a perfect time to get a 1-year rental.
Yeah, and I think for Detroit specifically, I don't think that what other teams do at the deadline would ever push Brad Holmes to do something, right? Like, I think that the Lions are so internally focused on who they have and who they're developing and what the trajectory for those guys are. But I think it's somewhat of a fair question to ask you guys that when you look at, the Eagles trading a third round pick for Jalen Phillips, whether or not you think, whether or not, I, I think whether or not how quote unquote all in you go to make a move, it feels like Brad Holmes has to do something to Jeremy's point, right? Because the standard wasn't the standard. And the Lions' offensive line, to your point, Meko, like the systemic issues there, that compounded on one another. None of those players were better than Christian Mahogany, and they weren't playing ahead of him, right? So it's like, why am I supposed to feel optimistic about that offensive line, the most important piece of the Detroit Lions football team, bar none? Like, I don't know if I can accept Brad Holmes like not doing something of consequence to improve the offensive line. Because like I said, it's not catastrophic, Meko. Like catastrophic would have been like Dan Campbell getting up there and saying something bad about Penei Sewell, right? But I mean, it's pretty dire right now. And I think that the Lions need to do something about it if they want to be like a Super Bowl contending football team. I think we can all agree like that their offense right now is not a Super Bowl caliber football team.
Right. And that is
Well, no, and I think Jeremy, it goes back to.
go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna just say like I think it goes back to something that I said also during the break, which is that like it this issue then compounds itself when your quarterback can't necessarily function in a system where he doesn't have good protection up front.
Yeah. Right. Everything this offense does is predicated on having a good offensive line. And it wasn't a good it hasn't been a good offensive line for the past at least 3 weeks, right? Going up against a good Chiefs front, a good Bucks front, and a terrorizing Vikings front, and hasn't been good enough. And sorry to say, but you're gonna have to go through teams like that in the playoffs. In the rest of the regular season. We were talking about that in the break. You're gonna have to go up against the Rams. You're gonna have to go up against, I don't know if the Eagles are the greatest example, but like they kind of have at least interior. They have a good interior defensive line. You're going to maybe have to go through the Vikings again. The Packers were a team that their defensive front was giving you issues. So while all the talk about the Lions and the trade deadline seemed to have been surrounded about pass rusher or corner or safety, I think the most impact you can make on this team right now is to improve that improve that offensive front. And that was something that, again, like I don't think it was necessarily a target beforehand, but it was certainly something that was a concern before the Christian Mahogany injury, and now it's just an even bigger concern.
Yeah. And I think the last thing too about the cornerback position, like, yeah, I could see if you want the Lions to improve their depth there, but they at least have guys coming back, right? Like Dan Campbell's like, hey, Dorsey's going to come back, and that's great that's a great special teams player, and also provides some cornerback depth for you. DJ Reed back. Like there are enough guys to think that you can feel optimistic about that. Whereas with the offensive line, it just like the cavalry's not coming.
Yeah.
Frank's not unretiring.
Stop asking. It's
none of the pipe dream things are happening. So like you have to go out and make that happen for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, I feel like we hit all the hot button issues, unless anyone has like a final thought on the Packers losing.
No, do more of that.
Yeah, do more of that. I will say that as we looked at the Packers schedule, we were like, oh, Panthers, it's going to be a W for Green Bay. Yeah. NFC North is going to be spicy all the way to the end, isn't it? With that really stupid Bears team with a negative 12-point differential at 5-3.
Phonies.
We should have knew not to have faith in the Bengals. We should have known that. That's our fault.
No, I don't think I did. But at some point soon, the Bears are gonna their schedule turns, and I'm very curious how they respond. Are they going to improve enough? Like it's weird, but it seems like defensively is where their vulnerabilities currently are, which is. Maybe not what I expected with their personnel on that side of the ball, but Ben Johnson effect.
I also hadn't expected Joe Flacco to have so much interaction with the NFC North, like a month and like 2 months into the season, and the NFC North has been so touched by Joe Flacco. Just couldn't get it done
The
yesterday.
Bears got the Giants next week, but then it's Vikings, Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers, 49ers, Lions. Good luck.
Yeah, and the Packers have the Eagles this week, so also good luck. So, all right, guys. Well, that's pretty much going to do it. Like always, if you guys are looking for any more content related to the Detroit Lions, you can always head over to prideofdetroit.com. There are new articles being put up every single day. And please be sure to tune into all of our other live streams for our Movember charity drive. Again, it's one of the coolest things that we do here at Pride of Detroit. It's one of the things that I have like the most fun with. And so, yeah, if you guys are looking to support, I believe there is an article on the website that'll kind of direct you to where you can donate. You don't have to wait for a live stream to donate. You can literally donate whenever. And yeah, it's a, like I said, it's a great cause. It's also a good opportunity for us to make us do some ridiculous things. And by us, I mostly mean Jeremy, because he's in charge, and that's the benefit of being in charge. So yeah, with all that said, if you are watching over on YouTube, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. It helps out the YouTube channel a ton. And if you want to catch these live streams while we're doing them, you can always head over to twitch.tv/PrideDetroit or youtube.com/PrideDetroit as well, to be able to just hang out and enjoy some of the fun during the live stream. So with all that said, I'm Meko. He's Jeremy. He's Ryan. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch and listen, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Recording stopped.
All right. Back to this overlay. Felt like there was something I was about to do, and now I forgot what it was.
I don't know how I didn't realize that the Cowboys were 3-4-1. I for some reason thought they had a better record.
No, they're not. They're not very good either. Turns out when you take away your best player on one side of the ball, that side of the ball starts doing worse.
So offense doesn't win championships, is what you're telling me?
Never has.
There were a couple. So yeah, Meko's connection was crapping out there a little at the end. I think I fixed my issues. I think what was going on with my issues was there were I think some of the video games that I still have installed on my computer that I'm not even playing were just updating in the background during streams. So I turned off automatic update. I don't know. I feel like we just get towards the end of the podcast, and then Meko's connection starts okay, you've been streaming for too long.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I started noticing every time I looked over at Twitch, I'm like, oh, I'm frozen.
Yeah.
And yeah, so.
And
I think
those
I just need a new laptop.
Those on YouTube, my apologies. I'm being late to moderate over there. That's on me. Let me finish up with alerts, and then we'll do a spin on the wheel of pain, and then assuming we don't get another $609.73, we'll just do one spin. J Rago 100 bits says, Meko, what are your wife's thoughts on a blue beard?
I'm not allowed to touch it. She gets mad when I trim it. All right.
Curtis, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Flair, thank you for the 59 months subscribe. Tier 2. Always love seeing those tier 2s on Twitch. Appreciate you, Flair. And then Moy, thank you for the follow on Twitch as well. Nah, I can't touch Meko's beard. That's someone else's turf,
No one can touch Meko's beard. Not even him, it sounds like.
All right. Let's do some Wheel of Pain stuff. My desk is now just covered in Wheel of Pain stuff. I have a whole bag of it. This is the extreme wheel of pain stuff. We're not touching this stuff yet, but I got some sour pickle balls. I got some Vegemite. Got some mustard. We downed all the crickets last stream, so we're going to take that one off the wheel of pain. And just so you guys know, this still exists. I'm about to throw it away, but this, I still own this. Which
Are those the pig's feet?
Yo, it sure is. Which I also recently found out. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that.
Does it say refrigerate after opening?
No, it doesn't. But there is a best of date that was a couple months ago. So we're.
Just drink the juice. You'll be fine.
If we get to 10,000 this stream, I will take a sip of this.
No, as your doctor, I cannot advise you do that.
All you guys have to do is raise $7,600 in the next 15 minutes.
Careful, they'll do that. As someone who ate some cereal that I should have never agreed to, when you challenge chat,
I'll do it.
Legionnaire's disease awareness for November next year.
Goofy meme. I'll fucking do it.
Yeah. I'll do it again.
I have emergency savings for this moment specifically, Marty. I know you're not kidding.
What do you do for a living to have that kind of savings account to pain Jeremy? I forgot that you couldn't put those in the fridge because you did put them in the fridge and it like congealed, right?
It congealed. That is correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was very gross.
I remember when he opened it and he was like, it was like a pickaxe that he was like chunking it away. And I was like, stop doing that on stream.
It was pretty gross. All right. So Vegemite, I do have Bean Boozled as well. Where did those go? Oh, they're right here. Up downs will keep, push ups will keep. I guess I'll just replace with mustard, spoon of mustard. So Vegemite, Bean Boozled, up downs.
Mustard?
What?
Regular mustard?
Yeah, yellow mustard's gross. Don't judge me. If I was getting paid for working right now, I would get us there. Apex. Well, sorry, the government sucks.
Austin, I did have an out of body. Just thinking of Being Boozled makes my stomach acid curdle.
Oh yeah, how did you do for the rest of the week?
Dude, I had such a headache. Like I just had a pounding headache for the rest of the night. And like I went home and took ibuprofen because I was like, this is not an enjoyable experience. There was so much sugar that must have dissolved into that milk.
Oh, so it was delicious. It was a nice sugary treat.
I hope what one do you not want to get? Because I hope you get that one.
Vegemite's pretty rancid. I kind of don't want to do anything physical because I'm just tired right now too, though.
Oh yeah, then get your ass up and do 10 up downs. Hashtag show crack in the
I got a belt
in the chat.
I'm pretty good. What do you have a question, Apex? What's your question? I am delaying this. I don't currently have any bugs. I'm literally out. But I'll buy some. I'll buy something. Yeah, I think the thing with Vegemite is like it has to be a very thin layer and like on something. Just a literal spoonful of Vegemite is gross. Are bugs still on there? I thought I took it out. Maybe I didn't save it. Thank you. Where's the save button? Oh, at the bottom. There we
go. Meko, if you had a food thing on the wheel of pain, what would it be?
Of something that I wouldn't want to eat?
Yeah, like what's something you find repulsive?
Mayo.
Mayo doesn't have any flavor.
I know, but I'm sorry. I went straight because my buddy Andy absolutely hates mayo too, and he always sends me the undercover brother scene with the mayo.
Yeah, bro. It's so my wife gets mad at me when I say this because she's like, "You don't hate mayo," and I'm like, I don't hate it, but like if it's on something, I just don't want to taste it.
Yeah, I'm with you
Like,
too.
is there anything worse than getting like, if you were to get a McChicken and there's just like an obscene amount of mayo where
Oh
like
God, I hate it.
you squeeze it and you're not even squeezing hard, but you're just
Yeah.
getting
And it just
and it just
Or
you
you
get
take
it
a
on
bite
the
and it just
C's.
like it's all up in the
Oh,
corners of the mouth.
That's what.
oh, that's
All
so
right,
gross.
I I propose that we do an extreme wheel of pain, and it would be an immediate, but I would order Meko a McChicken with extra mayo.
Oh my. So funny story about something similar to that. So my wife went to Burger King once. This was like years ago, and I guess like the dude that was working there was like flirting with her. And so she gets her food or whatever. She gets in her car, and it has like an obscene amount of mayo on the sandwich. And I was like, she came home and told me. I was like, he was dropping hints.
No, no,
Jesus.
no.
Oh boy.
Mine is beets. Beets.
Beets.
I
I don't see.
hate beets. I detest beets. I can't eat like if you get a Greek salad and it has beets on it, I can't do it. Absolutely cannot do it.
I feel that way about olives. I don't
Olives
like
are great.
Another part of Greek salads traditionally.
Yeah,
The black or the green ones?
both. They're just so like
Equal opportunities
bitter.
here.
Meh.
I got it.
I can power through black olives on a pizza,
Yeah.
Black olives on a pizza are amazing.
but I think it's kind of like a tomato thing with me. Like I've kind of grown more okay with tomatoes. Mostly it was like a texture thing, but like cooked tomatoes I love it. But for olives, if they're raw, oh my gosh.
I got
Oh,
I got
something else
shamed.
I hate.
Go ahead.
I hate like grits or like cream of rice or like those are gross.
Shrimp and grits is so
It's
good,
it's truly a texture thing though. Like,
Yeah.
I can't stand the texture.
It's like a flavorless applesauce kind of thing, right?
though. I mean, kind of.
Grits?
I feel like I've only had them like once or twice.
I mean,
Shrimp and
yeah, you
grits
gotta
is so
like
good, though.
you definitely gotta doctor them up. And I mean,
Yeah.
depending on where you land on the aisle will depend on like how many people hate you. But yeah, it's either sweet grits or savory
Yeah.
grits.
Is it like either like brown sugar or like
I
more
don't even know if it's
butter?
necessarily brown sugar.
Throw
I think
some
it's
hot
just like
sauce on it.
sugar.
Yeah.
It's either yeah, you have people that are heavy sugar on grits, and then you have people that are like salt, pepper,
Mm.
butter.
I think I'd be the salt, pepper, butter person.
God, how much for Jeremy to order an olive burger with extra mustard? Where would I even order that?
Halo burger.
What's Halo Burger?
Oh, a burger with
chain?
olives on it? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Halo burger. Like Halo burger has like the OG olive burger. It like my friend in middle school would get them, and I'm like, what? Why do you do that to your mouth? Like, why would you want to
'Cause
put
they're
that on your
good.
taste buds?
Makes me this hot now.
Apex asked, does it feel good when Dan Campbell says good question after you ask a question? And the answer, of course, is yes.
Validation, baby.
Yeah. There are
So get a
some
gold star.
there are some coaches that say that before every question, or before every answer of a question. And in those cases, you're just like, okay, well, that ruins the compliment. I think like Brunel's a guy who always says like, oh, that's a good question. I'm like, okay. I need like, oh, I need a great question out of you.
Okay, so the adjective matters.
Yeah, it does. No, I was I was fangirling the other day a little bit, just like when he mentioned my name twice in a press conference. Just like, okay. He referenced a previous joke that we had together, and then he also...
Oh, so he remembered you.
He remembers me.
Big germ.
Oops. I also somewhat recently ran into Brad Holmes at the hallways of Ford Field, and he knew who I was. He mentioned my name, so no big deal. He probably read that article where I'm like, Brad Holmes is getting a little cocky, huh? So he's like,
Yeah,
oh,
so
yeah,
Brad,
the guy from my dartboard, that's you.
yeah, so Brad Holmes clothesline Jeremy in the halls of Ford Field.
He held me over the 7th floor railing.
Oh, so he's Suge Knight. Okay.
So I mean, at least you know, like at least if he's calling you Jeremy now, you'll know when you're in trouble if he ever sees you and he's like Reisman. And it's like, oh.
Hit with the last name only.
Yeah, that would if Brad Holmes called me Reisman ever, I'd be like, oh shit,
What did I do?
my credentials about to get pulled.
Either that or you're gonna get a promotion.
Maybe.
I don't know how that works.
No, I don't think he can.
No, I think he would be more subtle with it. I think he would just rename the Reisman room the Schlitt room, and you know.
Wow.
He knows where to hit Jeremy where it hurts.
Let's not give him any ideas. Because
Hey,
he's obviously
Reisman.
watching.
I heard you suck at karaoke.
What? You, me right now. Golden earring. Radar love. Bring it on.
Wow, I feel like a musical is like taking shape. It's like just a throwdown over who can sing better between you and Brad Holmes.
Let's do it. That's going to raise a ton of money for charity. Come on, Brad. You hate the University of Michigan Rogel Cancer Center? 100,000. We do a karaoke off. Who wouldn't? I'd throw in a grand for that.
Yeah, but you have to be dressed up as Marilyn Monroe while you're doing it.
Oh,
And
wow.
you have to sing Brad Holmes, Mr. President.
No, we go up to Rodwood.
Oh, yes.
Oh no.
I love every bit of this.
Oh God. All right. Arnick, thank you for the 49 months subscribed to the channel. I'm glad you found out how to do the Twitch Prime on the phone. Is that what happened? Oh no, I'm just never going to be able to unsee someone in a Marilyn Monroe costume singing "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" to Rodwood. All right, let's spin this dumb thing. Here we go. Whoa, what is this? Sorry, Jeremy. Where did that come from?
That's funny.
That's awesome.
What does it say underneath it?
I don't know. It's cut off. Why can't I see it? I think it just says Vegemite. Sorry, Jeremy, Vegemite. What?
Oh, I see the colon now. Okay, yeah, I think it just says whatever the punishment is.
How did that get put up there? Whatever. All right. Let's take the wheel off. That is the one that I took a smell of it too, and it does not smell particularly good. Does this have a? Oh, this is also expired. January 2025. Here we go. About to ruin my stomach at 9:00 at night.
Whoa, hey, hold on. January 2025 was a long time ago. Hey,
It's not yet a year
Hey.
expired. What?
that was a long time ago. You're gonna do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's all like salt. It's pretty. I mean, it's yeast. It feels like it's just like all preservatives. What do you think, Zaz?
It's like the best sell by
For the
date,
Lions
right?
won the
Is it-
division. No, it was January 25th. No, sorry, January 7th. No, you're right. It was before they won.
Yeah, Detroit with a lot of confidence. This is salty yeast extract. It doesn't expire.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if Detroit says it, it's got to be true.
I agree. Chad has never lied to me.
Ever. Not once.
Google agrees, does it? Then why does it have... to be fair, it just says best before. It
I was
doesn't
gonna
say
yeah.
expires.
according to Google.
Okay, so it's a Best Buy
According
thing.
to Google, yeah, I was gonna say, according to Google, Vegemite lasts indefinitely if stored properly in a cool, dry place with a tight lid. Though the taste and texture might change over time.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm getting to Alien Vivitor's Chat GPT request, which was the effects of eating expired Vegemite.
Is that a real thing that we got? Oh,
Yeah, I just did it.
did Biad ever show up? Biad, are you around? Did we ever get that list cast, or should I refund it?
I don't know, but it says, according to ChatGPT, eating expired Vegemite is usually not dangerous in italics, but here's what to consider depending on its condition and how far past the date is. Shelf stability. Vegemite is extremely shelf stable. It's made mostly from yeast extract. So yeah, Detroit is ChatGPT. No dairy, meat, or high moisture ingredients, so it doesn't easily spoil. So as Meko pointed out, flavor and texture quality.
Hold on.
What about the smell? It should have a sharp, yeasty, slightly
does.
malty aroma.
Does this look cool? Does this look gross?
Dude, that's like vile. That looks like special effects in the Welcome to Dairy show that I'm watching right now.
That's as full of a
I-
spoonful as I'm doing.
I don't like
That
how
looks
it
like-
doesn't slide on the spoon.
It doesn't spread. It's just...
It looks like the Venom symbiote. Like that's
Jeremy knows that now. He's a big comic book guy.
I talked about it a little bit on Pride Direct, how I'm mad at you.
Did you really?
I did, because one of the questions we got in the midweek mailbag was just, like, let's talk about some shows that you're into. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I'm into this show, but here's a show that I've been watching. Peacemaker. And Dan also got mad at me for a mild spoiler, which I don't think saying a season ended on a cliffhanger is a spoiler. Which, if it is, I just ruined it for other people, so
I mean,
I guess I'm sorry.
It's certainly not like spoiling the entire show because you say what that happened in the video game level of spoiling.
Yes.
yeah. There's levels to spoiling.
I'm not going to say anything else, Dan. I promise. Seems spoil-ish. I don't know, but that was all in service to saying I'm mad. More just at the show and at the DC universe that James Gunn more or less said we're going to continue this storyline in other parts of the universe, which is bull.
Jeremy wants his show. He wants his show.
I just want to watch this. I don't want to watch.
I want my television programs. I don't want to have to watch the
Superman
next
versus
Superman.
Batman 2.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants
Nobody.
that. It's all right, guys. The thing he won't admit is that
Nothing
he
about that was
enjoyed
spoilery.
watching it. He enjoyed watching it.
I enjoyed the second season more than the first season.
Second season was
So
much
what's-
better than the first season.
What's wrong with admitting that? Why you don't want to admit that you found superheroes entertaining?
Correct.
Yeah, that's about it. I
Um,
will say I did get a DM from Jeremy where he was like, the things I like least about this show is when it reminds me it's about superheroes, which is like I could probably find a DM of him saying the same exact thing about Penguin. Like whenever he's reminded,
Penguin was actually good. Penguin was excellent. Like,
I'd
I
put
think far
season
better than
2 up there
Peacemaker.
with. I'd put season
I
2 not above Penguin, but I would put it like maybe in the tier below.
yeah, I still haven't watched Penguin yet.
Penguin's awesome. I would watch that again because to me it's a standalone.
Oh man.
I'd like the movie Robin Hood Men in Tights. Does that count, Sports Turf Pro?
Yeah, you do. You do.
After
It,
watching that show, I just for fun I started walking around like he did. Just I don't know why.
hey ma.
Hey ma. Hey, spoiler.
Oh yeah. Penguin has a relationship with his mother. Sorry, Meko.
I did tune into the Madden stream, and I heard you say something about K-pop Demon Hunter. And I like didn't realize like what you have you seen it? Did you
I've
watch
not
it?
seen it, but I have somehow gotten on K-pop Demon Hunter Instagram reels because I do like the song Golden. Like I'm not I'm not I don't feel shame about that. Like you guys are gonna try to make fun of me for that.
I'm not gonna make fun of
No,
you.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I
Said my 9-year-old loves that song too. That's all I'm saying. Like
I fair. I just like I'm into songs with like extremely strong vocals. Like any artist that can really sing, I'm all about. And that song has some of the most incredible vocals I've ever heard.
yeah. I mean,
So
like, I'm
I
not
ended
saying
up
my
texting
9-year-old has bad taste in music. Go ahead, Miko.
No, go ahead. You were going.
No, that's all I wanted to say. Like, I didn't want to say it was a slam that
Oh,
like Jeremy's listening to the music my 9-year-old's listening to. I'm just saying like it's a funny thing to hear Jeremy stump for this when my 9-year-old is also like I listen to this all the time.
so yeah, like my kids love the movie. My oldest loves K-pop, and so we have like a family playlist that we usually play like when we're like on road trips or whatever. It has like the most random mix of music, and the song came on like the song "Your Idol" came on today, and I text my wife. I'm like, I am so mad at how good this song is
Which one is that
because
one?
like it's I don't know. It's
I only
called
think
Your Idol.
I know Golden and I know is it Dun 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 or whatever.
Oh,
And
I haven't- yeah.
the only thing I know about that song is it's got a great line that's like fit check from a napalm era, which I don't know. I don't even know what the line means, but it goes hard.
Golden is number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, and I know
Is it
it was
really?
like it was like number 1 for I think a couple of weeks in a row. So that's in the Billboard Top 100, but I'm almost positive oh yeah, Your Idol is number 17.
How it's done. It's called How It's Done. How it's done, done,
Yeah.
done.
But it's like
Check
it's
from a
I do know what you
napalm
mean though,
era.
in the sense of like the lyrics for that song are like not like groundbreaking, but like the actual vocals of themselves. I'm like, this is actually like sung really well.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Dude,
I know the Soda Pop song too, but that one sucks. I don't like that song.
well, there are 6 songs from that movie in the top 34 songs on the Billboard Top 100.
Have we named 4 of them?
Yeah. Take Down, What It Sounds Like, How It's Done,
How it's done.
Soda
It's
Pop,
Done, done, done.
Your Idol, and Golden.
What was the first one that you named? I don't think I heard that one.
Takedown.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Well, K-pop Demon Hunter.
I'll eventually watch it. Like my
Same,
sister
'cause,
and my
like-
nieces have been trying to get me to watch it. It's a movie, Kick Puncher on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to find a way of watching it without my family finding out that I'm watching it.
All right. You guys see some Vegemite? No, you don't. Still tastes as bad as ever.
Is the
The
texture noticeably worse?
No, it's just bad. It's the same.
We'll check back next year.
Yeah, keep the same bottle.
I'll wash it down with this. All we need is 7,600. That is truly awful, though.
I
I'm
saw
sorry.
someone ask about the halftime show, and I can't wait to watch Twitter during the halftime show.
Man, part of me wants to be right there with you, Meko. The other part of me that will win out is I cannot be on that website. I can't be on any social media during the halftime show anyways, because it's just like, it sucks. It's great. It sucks. It's great. It sucks. It's great.
This is the
And
worst
it's like,
halftime show I've ever seen.
ever. This is the
Oh
worst
my
one
god.
ever.
This is the best one ever. If only they had waited like a couple months to announce, like, it'd just be K-pop Demon Hunters and everyone would be happy.
Well, someone asked that question that was like, how do you think the reception of the halftime show would be if it was K-pop?
Still incredibly xenophobic.
Probably. I mean, it doesn't matter for me because I'm just going to be like getting snacks from Santa Clara Stadium at the time.
While you're watching the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love win a Super Bowl.
Why would you say that?
He's 27. Haven't you heard?
Donate $50 so we can mute Ryan.
Someone donate $10 and I'll leave the stream right now. Also, hey, I watched Happy Gilmore too.
Oh yeah?
It sucks. It's
Okay.
awful. It's so bad. What a bummer. Like truly a bummer.
Yeah.
Nothing, and like what a bummer. I can't say anything else about it.
I was encouraged by the first half because I think the Shooter McGavin stuff was funny. And then like
The Shooter McGavin stuff was the best part of the
and then
movie.
he disappeared from the movie in the second half. Yeah, no, that movie
That's one of those movies that
bad.
definitely did not deserve a sequel.
No.
Trevor, the answer to that question, I think, is Beetlejuice. I thought it turned out well. I can't say that it turned out good, but it turned out well.
When I
haven't
came
seen
out of
that
that,
one
I came out of that movie thinking, "Oh, that was fun." And then, like, the more I thought about it, like, "Oh, but it was a bad movie."
What, Beetlejuice?
Yeah,
Yeah, the sequel.
yeah, fun
Yeah.
but bad. And I think I stand by
Oh.
that take.
I got one. Maverick. Maverick's better than Top Gun.
Ooh, I don't have. I thought I watched both, and I have very little feelings about either movie.
I have not
I watched
seen
Top Gun.
either.
Ooh,
You don't. So I watched Top Gun because it's like one of those movies that everyone hypes up. It was like, oh, you got to see this movie. It's the most pointless movie I think I've ever watched.
Top Gun.
Yeah.
Isn't like the
Pointless.
sneaky thing about it though is like it was commissioned by like the United States military to just be like a sweet ad to like join the armed forces.
Sure. all I know is that Maverick was everything I thought Top Gun would be.
I feel
Where
like
it's like,
Top Gun was also a little bit of like it had its moment in the early 90s or whenever it dropped.
80s, yeah.
80s. Like it fit then, and everyone who still likes it is like it's a little bit of nostalgia, right? It's the same thing with Goonies and me. Like I know I'm going to get some hate for that, but I didn't watch Goonies as a kid. I watched Goonies as an adult and I'm like this is weird and not that good. And everyone, that terrifies some people who grew up with it.
That's fair. Like it's a movie that draws heavily from nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like RoboCop.
Yeah.
I watched RoboCop finally the other day because like I watched a movie that Amanda wanted to watch. And RoboCop is bad. It's not a good movie.
But isn't it campy bad?
Like there's like quotable lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that feels like 80s and 90s movies where it's
Yeah.
like, is Billy Madison a good movie? No. Is Billy Madison littered with quotables? Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And as an adult, I think I mentioned these. Maybe I even said it on Scream. Watching Billy Madison, which was like a top 3 movie to me as a kid, watching it as an adult and realizing it's like super pro nepo baby, you're like, oh, weird.
There's a lot of
the bad guy in this movie is absolutely right.
What else? Oh, Breakfast Club was another one that like. Cleveland and I watched that because she was like, "I can't believe you've never seen Breakfast Club." Watched that movie and I was like, "This, nothing happened. Like this is."
It's not about plot; it's about character development, Meko.
But like, I don't think any of them. I guess they do become slightly better people. I don't know, but they all have to go back to like really crappy situations. Like that's
True.
the thing that's like crazy about that movie is
That's
like
how I
you
felt.
find out that all of these kids have like the worst home life situation, and even though they bond, it's like, yeah, but they all got to go home. Like,
valid point, and we are pissing off so many people in chat.
I know.
So
I felt the same way. I think it's the same director, John Hughes, right?
keep going, keep
16,
going.
16 Candles. I watched 16 Candles recently. I'm like, oh, that wasn't great.
Dude, my
this
mom
feels
would come
very
for your
bratty.
throat on that take, like your throat. Like say something mean about like Pretty in Pink now too. Do that.
I haven't seen that.
How about Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
I got one because I watched a movie on Halloween that like I just had on my YouTube TV because sometimes I'll just look at upcoming movies like that's a classic that I've never seen. That's a classic never seen. I got halfway through this movie and I was just like out as a light because it was. Well, I mean, it's not a bad movie, but it also it doesn't age well. Again, it's one of those movies that it just feels like it lived in its time and was. Now, buckle up because this is a Scorsese movie that I'm talking about. I'm kind of curious if you can guess. I'm gonna guess that neither of you have seen it. But it has
Who's in it?
It has Robert De Niro
Mm-hmm.
doing a very I can't even explain the accent that he's doing. But he is a convict who just gets out of jail. And he is terrorizing his former lawyer in his life. Kick Puncher has it. Cape Fear.
That is
Nope.
one Scorsese movie I've not seen.
I told you. I didn't think you were going to see it. It is just like it's kind of a miserable movie where it's just Robert De Niro making this guy's life terrible, and I couldn't finish it. And maybe I will just because it's weird, but like one is it's just weird to see Robert De Niro ripped and with a different accent. I do know The Simpsons, like Sideshow Bob is, or at least some of the Sideshow Bob episodes are very heavily based off of Cape Fear. It is very disturbing. It is a disturbing movie.
I have to imagine because the IMDb says a convicted rapist released from prison after serving a 14-year sentence stalks the family of the lawyer who originally defended them.
Yes.
All right. I didn't know. Did you know it was it's a remake?
I didn't really know that. I see someone in the chat said that.
Yeah, it's a remake of a 1962 film, which was based on a 57 novel. Maybe that was in vogue around that time because I think that they remade Rear Window around that time too.
Ronin. I haven't seen Ronin either. Now Chad's starting to throw some hot takes in there.
Oh yeah, there you go. I mean, really stir it up.
Jay Swift, thank you for the follow. Monkey, thank you for the 32 months as Brian Branch anniversary. We need a big Brian Branch game in Washington.
Like 2 forced turnovers.
Yeah. Yeah,
and 1 touchdown.
I'm in. Also,
I mean,
can they move
yeah.
that game to 1 o'clock? Like,
Yeah, it's 4:25 right now, right? In the middle of the day.
Yeah. Why?
Mm.
Don't better not be getting Tom Brady again for that game. That game does not warrant
No,
a
that
Tom Brady treatment.
no. At first, that game was a
It's on
playoff
Fox though,
rematch.
right?
It is in that time slot, Meko. Yeah.
Okay, as long as it's not Tony Romo. Like
Look,
my eyes bleed when Tony Romo commentates a game.
did you watch any of the Bills Chiefs game, Meko?
Yeah, and then I heard his voice, and I was like, it's just not worth it.
Jeremy, you were probably still at Ford Field.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit on my ride home. I mean, listening to.
Okay. Um, the Tamiko's ire for Tony Romo, Mahomes threw that interception. Like, and Romo's like, well, it's not so bad. It's, kind of like it's the old arm punt. I'm like, no, that's awful. Like, it was 3rd and 10. You needed to score a touchdown to like tie the game. And no, it's not like a punt because you could have punted and like put Buffalo deep in their own territory. Buffalo had a chance to end the game with a field goal.
What?
Like, so no, it's not an arm punt.
I saw the clip of Tony Romo. No, was it Tony Romo? I think it was. Yeah, because it was in that game.
Nance is getting kind of bad too, by the way. Like, I know that might be sacrilege,
Yeah, by
but like,
proximity.
Yeah, Nance is starting to like there are some things where Nance is like, oh yeah, his knee's down. And it's like, what? Like, I don't see that at all. Like, he'll say things like so like matter of factly, and it's like, are you sure about that? Like there's some player names he calls out wrong. I know that's sacrilege. I know Jim Nance is everybody's grandfather, but sorry.
Those website
What'd you
ads. Website ads. I don't want to play a CBS broadcast on here in case we get DMCA'd, so I'm just going to share with you. This is an awful announcing post that is titled, "Does someone want to check in on Tony Romo?" Because he's talking about defensive holdings on Buffalo that went uncalled, and then he ends it with like the weirdest sound where he's just like, like I don't know what
like
he's
Tim
doing.
Allen from Home Improvement.
It wasn't supposed to be like that. It's just like,
Well, dude, wait. Dude,
the link is in chat if you guys want to watch it. Again, I don't want to play it for copyright reasons, but
can that please, just for the rest of the month, be like our sub notification or donation notification? Just Tony Romo making that noise.
Hey guys, I haven't heard it in a while, so
It sounds like a release.
Oh,
It sounds like a release.
what do you mean by that?
Period.
it sounds like a release.
All right, is it time to get out of here?
I can't stop listening to it.
Should I watch the Pistons game while I'm boycotting Monday Night Football? Get it together.
I'm 12, dude.
Oh, there's Michigan basketball on. Do I want to watch that? Oh, it's against Oakland. You want to get a bet going?
Sir, I do not gamble.
I'll give you 20 points.
Pickleball, you mean?
Yeah, every man has a code, Meko.
I'm enjoying watching chat trying to spell out whatever Tony Romo is saying.
Yeah, there's some G's and H's, so adjust accordingly.
J. Rago might have it then. Penalty on.
Oh, That's true. I can't bet at the team facility, but there was college basketball that started this morning at 8 o'clock. There were college basketball games on at 8 o'clock this morning. I like that. More sports should do that.
There you go, Austin. Your channel points are back. I didn't see that you submitted a list cast, but we can get out of here. As I mentioned before, midweek mailbag will be tomorrow night. And we haven't scheduled First Bite, but I think we're going to do First Bite live again and just get rid of the VOD and make it a POD direct exclusive after it's live, like we did last year.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Who did we get for Washington last year? Oh, it was what's his name? He does some radio stuff. National guy. What's his name?
Oh my
Ross Tucker.
gosh.
Ross Tucker, right?
Yes, we did get Ross Tucker.
I'll see if I can get him again. That'd be fun. He was good.
He was good, but that's a big get. That's a big get on a short notice.
It's true.
Let's not overpromise and way under deliver.
You know what? Maybe we'll get SI's Washington's writer.
Oh man, Jeremy's spicy now. Meko just spreading it across the podcast.
All right. Should we get out of here?
Pause.
Huh?
Huh? All right. Guys, enjoy the rest of your night. Hopefully we made you feel a little bit better. Maybe an emergency podcast tomorrow?
That'd be sick. Let's all like take yourself back to K through 12. Do whatever snow day dance you need to do tonight. Whether throw ice cubes in the toilet, sleep with your pajamas inside out, whatever you got to do for Brad Holmes to make a trade.
Yeah. Joel Batonio. You are a Detroit Lion.
Wake up with a Joel Batonio underneath your Christmas tree you already have out.
Some people do. All right.
Really trying to piss off everybody, huh?
That's right.
Laser mouse.
No, Vivider. I'm not going to do an emergency pod in the Macho Man outfit. No. All right, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
We are all 12.
We are all 12.
There's